Cheers, queers! What's on the big gay agenda today, Theora?
Today we are continuing our epic scene-by-scene breakdown of episode 11 of Pluto the series. Woo! This is the penultimate episode and it's gonna be a doozy. We are gonna see if we can beat the goal set for us by Michelle G by guessing how long this episode was gonna be way back when.
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
Oh my gosh.
Yes. So, let's all see. We don't have any corrections and clownery because we just filmed the last episode fairly recently, so we're going to skip on over that and just dive right into part 2 of Pluto episode 11.
Let's do it.
Let's do it.
We start with Jan taking to visit Paul's house. And this is how Jan hopes to bring memories back, at least of Paul, because she's being very gentle with her and letting her try to come to the recollection herself.
Yeah. And so, like, when I was talking about memory in the last episode, I think what Jan is doing here is trying to put in the environment that might spark some memories, and also like gonna see pictures as evidence, and so that's a little bit more powerful than like telling a seemingly insane story and like be like, that's what happened. And there's a bit more weight behind this, and being in the space could invoke memories of being in the space with this person, so it's good that she's doing this to help not just like know the truth, but like get her own memories back, because like is clearly frustrated by this. What I find really interesting though is when they enter the scene, like Paul's got a bunch of money, right? So it's a big house, big empty space, because like there was barely any mutual love in that house. It was just very cavernous feeling, and like we kind of get this shot when they're entering that feels like that, but the center of the frame is like a dead plant, which is weird, like sitting on a coffee table, if you look at that. And I thought that was a choice, particularly in Pluto, where there's a lot of different plant metaphors going on. Like we have Jan entering the scene with and Jan is a plant person, right? That's how she bags paying. I don't know if they probably banged near plants, but I don't know if they had to do explicitly with the plants. But she begged paying over plants, right? They're plant girlies, so they bonded there. So here's Jan coming to the scene with a dead plant. Also, we have like the roses and things like that. The other thing too is like the context of the scene. You have without her memories entering this place with like the ghosts of memories, essentially, with Paul, and literally like Paul's ghost probably. So it's like a graveyard of memories kind of thing. And like that's where is entering. So I thought the plant in the center was an interesting choice, but like if you read into it, it makes sense. Not just that, like, obviously Paul's the only person that gave a fuck about this house, therefore he was the one watering the plants, let's be honest. Didn't give a fuck, so like he's gone, his plant babies are dying, there's also that. But I think like in the context of like we're about to go through a graveyard tour of your past, Jan is the ghost of like memories past. That's what this is. And like there's like dead shit in here, because like when goes to get the picture of the engagement picture that she picks up to look at, like there's another dead plant. So they're kind of like strategically placed by the memories. We've also had a scene earlier with like and Paul on this couch. So it's kind of like they kind of put them where the memories were in a way to be like, it's dead now kind of thing.
It's never coming back.
No, but hopefully gets her memories back, because poor girl. That's rough.
It is.
It is.
All right. So Jan tells that her memories are here. Memories of her and someone important to her. Looks at Jan before looking at the house, just trying to take all this in and being like, my memories are here? What? Where?
What is this
corner is it hiding in?
Yeah, seriously. What is this fucking place? Who is that man?
And looks at the photos on the wall of her and Paul's engagement. And really for her, she's basically looking at a stranger.
Yes.
And I can't even imagine what it's like to look at yourself as an adult in a photo that you don't remember, but also have a twin and be like, is it me or is it my twin?
Yeah, no, absolutely. Especially coming off the cusp of like I actively lying to her face multiple times. Like is this me or is this I? Because like, think about it. In Oom's brain, I is the charming one. I is the one that everybody loves. So it would make more sense in her brain for I to bag a rich dude. You know what I mean? Like,
not in I's brain.
No, but I's not in this scene. Is in the scene trying to be like, is that me or is this my sister? I mean, the face I'm looking at, the outfit's pretty girly, and I is not a fancy bitch. So like, but I mean, I would get fancy for like a wedding, which she does. So like, this is weird for to be like, you're telling me all this shit, Jan. I don't know who the fuck this person is. I don't trust my sister. Like, so I would imagine that too. And then also like as an adult, yeah, this is fucking weird because like it's not like this is a trivial memory. It's not like this is just like a photo of you building a sandcastle and it's like I don't remember this, but also who cares? Like this is like her getting engaged to a stranger. Like that's like a life-altering thing that you cannot remember about yourself. That's kind of terrifying actually.
It is.
Yeah.
I can't imagine it.
Like, I can't even imagine what is feeling in this whole scene because, like, she has no context for any of this. And also, yeah, it could be I because she has learned I can lie straight to her face. Like, and Jan has already lied to her. So I would trust no one if I was I'm like, I don't trust any of them motherfuckers. I know that, like, Jan is, like, the easiest to be like, tell me the fucking truth. But, like, is this the truth?
What is the truth?
What is the truth? Yeah, that's
because like she can technically trust Jan as well, but like Jan was lying to her too.
That's what I'm saying. And like, who knows? Again, this could be I's. Yeah, okay, this could be I's. Like, I don't know, bachelorette pad now or whatever the fuck this is. And like, because how crazy would it be if like is going through all this and is like starts freaking the fuck out. It's like, Jan, I don't believe you. Like this, like, I don't believe you. I don't believe you. And then like Jan has to save this because is not okay. And then Jan starts spinning lies and she's like, oh yeah, no, I'm sorry. This is I and her fiance. And then like she weaves this web of lies and she's like, yeah, no, the reason you haven't met him yet is because like he like lives on a farm now. He's gone. He crossed the Rainbow Bridge and he's in some magical place called like Iceland or some shit. And like you're never gonna see him again. Like it's fine. But like this is it's I's place. She married him and stuff, but he lives on a farm now, and we don't talk about Paul.
We don't talk about Paul.
And then she leaves this interaction, and then Jan has to go talk to I and be like, so I, just so you know, this all went poorly. You're married to Paul, by the way.
No, she'd have to start with, so I kind of told some stuff.
I kind of told him some stuff. Although, like, would Jan tell I? Nobody tells I shit.
That's true. We tell Meemaw.
She'll tell Meemaw. You know, I feel like son of a bitch.
She'd be like,
I thought you were the good
Meemaw.
one. I thought you were the good one.
But then she'd have to be like, and I,
by the way,
saw you and May together. Bye!
Yeah, see ya! Poor
Yeah, so poor is trying to remember everything, and she picks up a photo of her and Paul right after Paul proposed. And she's staring at it, just trying to remember something. Not even everything, just something.
Man.
And this is when Jan pipes up from the background, telling that the one who loved her the most was Paul. And ain't that the truth? Because Paul was the most committed out of everyone. But also notice how she said he was the one who loved her the most. Not you loved him the most.
Not you. Once upon a time was madly in love with this person you got married to. No, she phrases it, he loved you. Because isn't that the truth? Truly, if you were to dissect Paul and relationship, like, did even know Paul is my question, because we don't get evidence that like they had anything in common at all. I don't even think she knew him. I think if you were to do a couples quiz where they had to like answer questions about each other, that Paul would get them all right about and then would not get a single one right about Paul. I don't think she actually knew him as a person. I think that was somebody who was grieving the loss of a relationship and was trapped in that moment of time, okay, and then was trying to move on, but it just was taking her a very long time because the relationship with May really like affected her. Because if you think about and I, what they have in common is the thing they're seeking the most is they're seeking somebody who loves them, like them, not my sister, not out of obligation, not out of pity. Somebody who loves them for who they are. And thought she had that with May. She felt that with May, and then comes to find out that like this was for I all along. And so she's like grieving this shit, and then at the same time had to like be like, do I love my sister enough to let this bitch go and like let May go get I kind of thing. So she's like trying to that took her 2 years, okay, to get to the point where she was like, okay, you can date my sister now, but I don't want to fucking know about it. Because she tells that to May. She's like, I don't want to hear about your love life ever. Like, go get her, but I don't want to be involved. I don't want to know. I don't want to see it. And like, because I think that would have hurt. I would have killed to have to watch I date May the way it does, like when she actually sees it, you know. And so because of that, I don't think she had space in her heart for Paul, because she was actively like heartbroken. You know what I mean? And so I think the thing that loved about Paul, and like the reason she said yes to him, was I think she loved the way he loved her, because she was seeking somebody who loved her the most, right? That was the thing she wanted. That person giving her that love could be anyone. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because it can't be May, the person she wants it to be, because May's affection is for her sister. So she's like, oh, here's a person giving me the thing that I wanted. I'll take it. Oh, also, he has money. That's a bonus. That helps. That helps. And he's a pretty looking man, and he's not abusive. So, like, there's a lot of perks there. But I think he could have literally been anyone. And, like, that was what wanted. So, like, I don't think she actually, like, so I feel like this process for her is weird because, like, does she know enough about Paul to like jog a memory? Because I don't think she really knew him. I think she was too lost in her own shit and was just like addicted or craving the support he gave her more than anything else. Because he was we see him time and time again being this very supportive partner in the background, much to his demise. But like, she doesn't know him. Let's be honest. Like, does she know Paul's favorite color? No.
No. Does she know her own favorite color?
No. Is it black because this apartment is black? Like, I don't know. Like, you know what I mean? Because she played no hand in, like, designing this apartment, or this house, that apartment.
So I know that this isn't the same, but I feel like just needs to get a puppy.
Needs to be in the place to take care of the puppy.
That's true.
Because needs to take care of herself first. I think that would be bad for the puppy.
Does she know how to take care of herself?
I think Meemaw would end up taking care of the puppy. You know?
Poor Meemaw.
Right. And it's like, I didn't fucking ask for this shit either. Like, you know?
It's happening again.
Yeah, no. Needs to heal and process. And like, that just fucking takes the time that it's going to take. There's no like, by week 3, you'll feel better. Like, no, it's just like, everybody grieves differently. And like, this is, you hear it when she's like, I'm tired of being betrayed over and over and over again. And that line where she says that didn't come out of nowhere. Like, if that voiceover in the last part was really like journaling later on when she has her memories back, that would indicate that felt betrayed a lot, like her life. And so like, yeah, I think it would just take her a really long time to be open up to even like really know Paul on an intimate, like not like necessarily like intimate level, but on just like a emotionally intimate level.
Yeah.
You know, because I think her emotions were way too tangled in the loss of May, what she wanted her relationship with May to be and how she felt about it, which is really fucking shitty. But that is real life, and that's why I really love and the way they wrote in the show, specifically in the show, because that's a very real thing that just can destroy you. Yeah. And it really, like, you really get to see the toll it takes on like, just the way she was feeling. I know. I feel so bad for her. And poor Paul, because, like, then he's doing he's in a red flag relationship with the hope that maybe one day she'll look at me and I'm gonna marry her. Like, that was crazy.
Honestly,
what he was doing. That was crazy.
The worst for Paul.
Well, also, like, we also don't know that much about Paul. So, like, was he another one who was like very desperate to just be like, I just want a person to throw all of my love onto? Like, because like was giving him nothing. Let's be honest. Like, was he in love with or was he in love with the fact that she let him express his love however the fuck he wanted to? He's got all this love and nowhere to go, and she kind of took it. And he was like, I'll take that. Like, you know what I mean? Did he love Did they even know each other? Who knows? It's a heterosexual relationship. You don't gotta know each other.
But like,
let's be honest.
Going with my puppy thing, could you imagine if Paul had gotten a puppy to surprise and be like, this will repair the relationship?
It was like, I'm allergic.
He's like, I thought of that. It's hypoallergenic.
Yeah.
But
just kidding, it's a cat.
It's like right before the accident too, and then Mima got stuck with it, like, and this literally happened all over again.
Oh my god, no, poor Mima. I would like to imagine that Jan took the dog, and then Pang and Jan would adopt the dog. I can see them with the dog. I can see Officer Hottie being there and being like, I'm kind of allergic, but I really want the kanji, and then like Pang was all over the dog. That kind of thing. I can see that also.
Oh, I can see it in my head, and that's really cute.
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Don't worry, we'll get to them later.
Will we ever?
Will we get to them? Oh my god. For some reason, we will get to that later.
Just what the hell?
That's all I have to say. I don't know what the hell you guys were thinking in that scene, but you know, whatever. They're like, this is depressing. Let's give you some weird lesbian shit.
We'll get there, but like, is that Chow or GMMTV?
This was GMMTV, okay? Because there was no Officer Hottie.
Oh.
See, there was no love triangle there. There was, I forget. Pang was queer. Did Pang get with Jan in the novel? I can't remember. But Pang was definitely queer because she has conversations with I where she's like, I'm gay. Who the fuck cares? When I was like, oh my god, my sister's dating a woman, that was real. That was from the novel, but I can't remember if she gets with Jan or not. They were much lesser characters in the novel, and Officer Hottie, I don't think was in it. They wrote Officer Hottie, I'm pretty sure.
So wait a minute, they made up
Officer Hottie
and
then they fucking Plutoed her. Yeah, I know. You wrote this woman who's paralleling an story, and then you don't put them together. Like, what the fuck? That was you.
Mm-hmm. Why add a character that
I don't know
has anything?
I don't know, but I prefer GMMTV's version of I will say, because I will get to Zhao's version of You're gonna it's something. It's something. It's something.
All right.
Mm-hmm. But yes, that was a GMMTV choice, was all of that. For some reason we went there. Anyway.
All right, so back to the scene. After hearing that Paul's the one who loved her the most.
Yes.
Looks a bit scared or like regains some sort of memory from this revelation. Maybe.
Seriously, what is she feeling in this scene? I really don't know, to be honest with you. I don't know, because like I don't know if that was a memory spark or it was like the real, like, because think about it, right now, if she didn't get a memory from that, like this is coming off the cusp of finding out her sister is actually dating her girlfriend and then lying to her face actively about it. So like that's what is feeling going into this, and then was like, Jan, I need to know the truth. She gets slapped in the face with it, and then Jan takes her to this mansion and is like, by the way, there was someone out there who loved you the most, because was like, oh, May loves me the most, and then it's like, wait, she's fucking my sister, what? And then it's like, no, this was the person, this person you can't remember was the one that loved you the most. So like, was that like the facial expression, was that being like, oh my god, I remember this, or is it being like, oh my god, somebody loved me the most? Because that is the thing that wants, you know what I mean? I can't really tell because it's very short, but like it could be either, to be honest with you. Like if she got the memory and she's like, oh my god, Paul, oh my god, my life, or it could be like, oh my god, somebody loved me the most and like bought me this mansion, like, you know what I mean? We're in a place with tangible proof that this person loved like there's, again, he decided to put giant photos of the two of them prominently in the house. Like that's how much he loved you know what I mean? Like it's pretty evident just being in that house, not knowing this couple, that like this man was very proud of her.
And it could also be like, she's scared because she's like, I don't remember
and then I don't remember this. Yeah, no, totally, exactly. Yeah, like that's a huge thing to like learn and then not remember it. Like it's like, well, fuck. And then also, did Jan tell her he's dead? Does she know yet he's dead? Because she didn't know who this person was.
The plants are gonna tell her.
I feel like Jan didn't tell her yet because she was like, didn't tell her about Paul until she walked into that apartment. So also doesn't know this man is dead.
Yeah, wait till she finds out
Right.
that the person who loves her the most, and
Is
she actually
also-
had that love.
And then she's like, oh, well, can I meet him? And then Jan's like, well, he lives on a farm. He lives on a farm now with your childhood gerbils or whatever. Like, gerbils? I don't know what kind of pets. They weren't allowed to have a dog, let's be honest. They had to have something tiny if it was actually a pet.
She got a fish. But, like,
I don't know. Whatever. I think I would want something she could run around and play with, and she probably lost it. That was my assumption. Anyway, but yeah, Paul was with the in the pet cemetery or whatever. And then again, like Jan has to explain this. The poor fucking Oom. Again, I wanted all the extended scenes of Oom and Jan because I think they would have been great.
okay. They would have been great.
Mm-hmm. They would have been really, really good scenes. If you guys at home have any thoughts about how the extended conversations between Jan and went when Jan is like revealing the man eye stuff, or here when she's like fully explaining the Paul shit, because we just got a taste of it. You know, Jan had to keep going and be like, by the way, he's dead. How do you think that went down?
I want to see it so
bad. Really badly.
Because I feel like it was hilarious of her just trying to figure out how to do it.
No, I would like the scene from Jan's point of view. Which would have been hilarious because Doom is devastating, but Jan trying to like figure out how to say this to her friend
Gently.
Right. In a not triggering way.
Because she is gentle.
Jan loves Yeah. It would just would have been funny. Well, not funny, but I would have liked to have seen it.
Pang would have ripped the band-aid off her eye.
God, if this was the other way around and I was the one in the coma and it was Pang that had to guide I through all this shit. Okay, also write that in the comments. If this was the other way around.
If this was
how did Pang handle all this shit with I? Because it would have been a hot mess. She would have got her drunk, probably, and was like, I. And brought her to the she would have brought her to the mansion. They would have binge drunk at the mansion. And then she'd like pull curtains off and be like, that's the one that loves you. I like it would have been fucking ridiculous.
And then in the morning,
and then
I
was
doesn't
like,
remember.
Ew, boy. Like, you know what I mean? It would have been like the weirdest fucking ridiculous shit ever.
Yeah, and then in the morning, I doesn't remember anything, and she has to do it all over again.
Or like, I's like, that can't be me. That's look at her. Like, you know what I mean? She would have started gushing about her sister. Like, it would have been
Oom's perfect. Everybody loves her.
It would have been a mess if it was.
But also, if this was earlier on, would Pang been like, and we were together?
Maybe.
You love me, I.
You love me. Oh my god, that's right. I forgot that Pang was interested in I. You know what? Honestly, I don't want to see that from Pang. If Pang was May, okay?
Yes.
And May was the best and May was the best friend that was in love with pining for I for years. Because she kind of was, but she wasn't the best friend. When I lost her memories, May would have been like, it would have been a situation where she tries to trap I. She'd be like, we've been together for like 10 years. You didn't remember? Like, you know what I mean? She would have pretended like we were in a relationship. We've been in one for a really long time.
Then how does that come out?
I don't know. Well, I gets her memories back and is like, we were definitely platonic friends. You just fucking manipulated the shit out of me.
She wakes up one day and it's like when May got her sight back and she'd be like, oh my god.
Let's be honest. Pang wouldn't do that. Pang, I think, would have been just very
Pang
crass about this whole thing. Like, and I think she would have got drunk. And then
Pang has a healthier mindset.
Right. Pang did her own therapy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Oh my god, no. If this was May was Pang, this would have been fucking clusterfuck. May absolutely would take advantage of all of that. I'd be like, what do you mean? We've been together the whole time. Anyway, not painting May in a great picture, and that's because we have been going second by second in this show, and May gets worse the more you watch it. You're like, this woman really doesn't care.
Isn't the best person.
She's not, and like it's May from the novel starts coming out more. When the novel May is terrible. Everybody's awful in that book.
It's because GMO made it more subtle.
They tried to humanize everybody and de-chowify them, but it's part of the story is the fact that everybody's lying to everybody and there's manipulation happening, and yeah, that's part of the story. So like, I'm not mad at it, but just like, May is very devious and is an opportunist. If there's an opportunity for her to win, she's gonna take it.
Ain't that the truth?
Yep.
Sorry, I had an alarm going.
That's okay.
And I wanted to turn it off before it actually went off. Sorry, it's so squeaky.
I know. It's okay.
Also, be careful with hitting the table because every time.
I know.
All right.
I know. It is what it is.
All right, back to the episode and not fan fiction that we're making up on the spot. So I's friends and her bring May to pay respects to Ben's mom. And Ben begins by telling his mom that his friends and him brought someone to meet her. And Ben is smiling, which is an emotion, Theora.
No, he has them. Well, he has one.
Yeah, but that means, like, he actually wants to do this. Like, this could have been Ben's idea to bring May to see his mom.
It could have been.
And I and May enter the scene with flowers, and May looks a bit nervous because at the end of the day, she still feels guilty for what happened, and nothing is going to change that.
Yeah. Something I thought was interesting in the scene, and I was like confused by, not I-un, but me, was that May showed up in a all-white outfit. And I thought that was weird because like every single time we've had like a scene with mourning, everyone's been in black. And like everybody in this scene is wearing some article of clothing that is black. Like I and Pang are like fully in black. Kasol's fully in black, basically. And then Ben is wearing black, white, black because it's Ben. Ben has half emotions. But I was like, why did May, the person who's like new to all this, show up in a white outfit? Like, is that disrespectful? And so I looked into it, and I guess according to the internet, in Thailand, acceptable mourning colors are black is the main one, and then white is also included in that, and then muted colors like gray or cream. So I thought that was interesting because like in Western culture, white is not a mourning color, an acceptable mourning color. So I just thought this was interesting because I'm like, May, you are the guest of honor. Like, what were you thinking? But I guess this is technically acceptable. So I was just confused by this, but she's not being disrespectful. I just wanted to double check because I thought it was odd that she was the only one not wearing black, some kind of black.
Yeah.
So the more you know.
It's probably to make her stand out as the choice.
Right. You know, that's what, you know, it's May. Yeah, right. So I was like, why did she do this? Because everything she does is very calculated. So yeah, maybe she's trying to pop and be like, I will wear a mourning color, but not the one they expect me to.
It's not the one they expect me. Let's play mind games always.
No, she's always playing mind. Right, exactly. I was trying to deconstruct why she chose this because it's May. But anyway.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So they both bow their heads and place their flowers for Ben's mom. And before May goes to put her flowers down, her face looks sad. And
as it should, bitch.
Then she like briefly smiles, but like it barely works. And my best guess is that she feels like she will never be able to make up for what she has done.
Mm-hmm.
Because like it's one thing, and we talk about how May was doing all this for I, but now she has to like face literally what her actions have caused.
Yes.
Because Ben's mom's death is the result of her taking Batman's case.
Correct.
I mean, it's not like she killed his mom.
She did not, but she played her part in it. This is a body that's directly connected to May.
Yeah.
She's got bodies. Not great. But you can't pin it on her legally, so what you gonna do?
Yeah. Kasol, ever the mystery that is Kasol, looks to Ben and then his friends to like silently check in on everyone before I begins talking by introducing Ben's mom to her girlfriend, May. And like this is the first time I gets to introduce May as her girlfriend as I.
Mm-hmm.
Like this is big.
Yeah, other than those strangers when they were door dashing. She's like, this is my girlfriend.
Yeah.
Okay. So I know that the real purpose of this scene, as you pointed out, is that May is here to pay respects / she's about to ask forgiveness from Ben's mother, like the person she kind of killed indirectly. But since I is the one that introduces May in this scene also reads like I bringing May to meet her surrogate mother figure, because that's kind of how the kids saw Ben's mom, because we did get scenes with that. And so that made me wonder, I know another scene we are absolutely robbed of is this one I'm about to ask you about. How do you think May's first meeting with Meemaw goes down? Because we never actually get May meeting Meemaw. But how does that go down? Because she, at some point, has to meet Meemaw. Like, actually meet her. Because never introduced them. I's gonna have to introduce May to Meemaw after all this fuck shit goes down. At some point,
I feel like Meemaw's first line is, "So you're the woman who's been playing with my granddaughter's emotions."
You're the one. Blew up my family multiple fucking times. Yeah, no, I don't think that goes well.
Meemaw would probably be very silent and be like,
No, that's too respectful. I feel like she'd be more clipped with the way she talks. I feel like she would not use the honorifics when talking to me. She didn't earn them yet. Oh my god. She would pull her like old lady status card to like talk down to May as much as she possibly could. No, I don't think that goes well the first time they meet. Because like, yeah, Meemaw is like, okay, my granddaughter loves you, but then you're a little home wrecker. May, actually. I think there's gonna be and Meemaw's a lot like when she's having the feelings, you're gonna see them. So like I think Meemaw's hostile towards May for a bit. Especially like it depends on like it would have to be after is like, okay, you guys can date. So it have to be after like I don't think Meemaw meets May for a really long time, is the thing. But like again, Meemaw was witness to all this fuckery for years that went down because of this woman. Poor Meemaw. And I feel like we were robbed of that scene more than anything. It was Meemaw meeting May, because like that must have been quite a meeting, actually.
yeah.
Because Meemaw's probably got a list of shit. She's like, I got a list of things I gotta ask you. First of all, how dare you? Second of all, you know what I mean? Like,
second of all, why would you?
Like her grievances towards this woman. Like, there have to be so many of them, enough to write her own novel. You know what I mean? Let me know in the comments too. How do you think May meeting Meemaw goes down? I'm very curious. It can't be smooth. There's no way.
Yeah. Meemaw's very protective.
May has wronged them all. Meemaw's like, the amount of times I couldn't sleep because of you.
Like we've had multiple times where they both I'll never stray too far from the sidewalk. Sorry. You always have to finish it. All right. So then I continues explaining how May was the one who represented Batman. And Ben lowers his head a bit, and I and May look over to him to check on his reaction. But it seems like Ben truly is at peace with everything.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like really nice to see this whole group be able to come together and have harmony between them.
And it's not a secret.
No.
This is not a harmony secret. Shout out to that show, by the way.
Oh my gosh. Your mission is to throw me off in this part now.
It is.
Sorry, everybody. Okay, so May then apologizes to Ben's mom and asks for her pardon. And Ben looks up at May as if he wants to say something to her but can't get the words out, or like doesn't want to interrupt her.
Mm-hmm.
And May continues to say that she hopes that she can forgive her because selfishly she needs forgiveness. But like also that's why we're here.
Well, she also needs to do this so that I will respect her. That's why we're here.
She needs to be fully worthy of I.
Yeah, that's what this
Especially before gets her memories back.
Correct, yes. She got to lock down I before remembers.
And this is when Ben speaks and tells May that she was a nice lady and loved I like her own. Mm-hmm. And he assured her that she would forgive anyone that I loves. And like this makes I smile because she really did have this close bond with his mom.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Ugh.
Yeah. It wasn't just the mother figure stuff. Like she helped get I a job when she like dropped out of school, and like yeah, she really took care of I in a number of ways. So yeah, this is like May meeting the parents kind of thing, kind of a scene. Because we don't get the Meemaw scene, but this is like the closest thing we get to that. And unfortunately, I has met May's parents. And unfortunately, we do get a scene when I meets the parents later, and it's some fuck shit. So I prefer this scene.
It is, yes.
It's some ridiculous GMMTV shit.
All right. Ben then says, right, Mom. And everyone smiles. And May doesn't look too sure. It's kind of like she can't believe it can be this easy to forgive someone.
Because she would never.
Yeah. And like almost like she doesn't feel like she deserves it either.
Mm-hmm.
But I puts her hand on May's shoulder to comfort her, and they bow their heads to Ben's mom before putting their incense sticks in the thingy majig. And Ben is smiling and looks happy. And I think he's just really happy because they are all healing and putting the past truly in the past now.
Mm-hmm.
And like this time was such a big part of their lives. And like now the truth is fully out there. And everyone had the opportunity to make amends.
Yes.
Well, almost. Almost everyone. Speaking of which, Kasol, we then head to Kasol feeding fish.
I love that this bitch wandered off by himself to feed the fish because everybody else is like off in the distance. I love that he's just doing this. Like, how as precious is that?
Like, how could this be the person that blinded May?
It's so cute. Like, what a weirdo. He just goes and feeds fish by himself. It's cute.
And May comes to find him while the other three are in the far right corner just watching them and the fish.
Yes, remember, they are in the far right corner. So there's no way that they overheard this conversation that's about to happen between May and Kasol unless May was bugged and they were listening in on this. Like, because they react to the conversation like they can hear as it's going on, but like, there's no way they heard this. Mm-hmm. 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 I'm just saying, I have to point that out because they react like they can hear it. They can't. There's no way.
So Kasol turns to her and says that all is settled now and asks her when she wants him to turn himself in.
This poor guy.
And while everyone else has been able to ask forgiveness and process the past, Kasol has still been waiting for the moment that he would end up in jail.
I know. Poor Kasol.
And like this is probably the thing that's been eating at him every day since it happened. Just like waiting, like
just waiting.
I'm gonna go to jail.
Yep.
And like
May.
Kasol is the last person who has to find closure. And May is about to give it to him. But because there's always a but.
Always, especially with May.
First, she asks him why he didn't turn himself in sooner. And the answer is because he is a coward and he continues to be one. Like, he continues to be one by letting May decide when he needs to do it. Like, he could have been like, I'm turning myself in now. But no, he was like, when do you want me to do it? So.
Well, like, also, like, their first confrontation, like, in the past when she was blind, he was like, I'm too cowardly to do it. But I'm then like I'm too cowardly to turn myself in, and then also too cowardly to run away because he easily could have skipped town and like never came back. But then he was like, so then May was like, no, seriously, like why didn't you do this? So he reveals here that like Ben was the big reason because like Ben had no one. So like Kasol, that's why like when I was watching it for the first time, I thought Kasol and Ben were together because like the way Kasol is very devoted to Ben and is always like looking at Ben for confirmation like constantly. Like anytime they're in scenes, he's always making eyes at Ben, and so I was like, are they dating? Like, what's happening here? Because, like, Ben's his big reason. And that's what May was kind of getting at. So love is why Kasol didn't leave. Because he could have ran away and meant May would have never found him. Well, it wouldn't have been easy for May to find him. Mm-hmm. It's May. She would have found him.
Oh, yes.
It's May.
You can't hide from May.
You cannot hide from May. It was much to your dismay.
But, like, props to Kasol for recognizing that he was being a coward because
he's self-aware.
He also says that he was worried about Ben, and he could have pretended like that was the only reason why he didn't turn himself in, but he really is owning up to what he did.
Yeah, and also May already knew that because he's like, besides being a coward, which I already told you, like this is the other reason. So he did own up to that way back when also. Mm-hmm. So,
and the reason that Kasol is asking May now when she wants him to turn himself in is because he knows that Ben is okay in May's hands, and there's nothing much else that he could do for him.
Also, I and Pang finally showed up to support Ben after 2 years. So, like, he's also like, all his other friends finally fucking showed up. I don't have to be the sole caregiver anymore.
And we have the scene where they're not ignoring Ben in the wheelchair.
I know.
So he's a person.
Right. So Kasol's like, we're good now. So, yeah. Fucking idiot friends. Yep, that is also true. Idiots.
So May smiles at the other three before telling Kasol if he were in prison, I would have to go to visit you, and she doesn't want to trouble her girlfriend. And she says all this while grinning widely and looking at I periodically, by the way.
It's not about you, Kasol.
No, it's never about you. It's always about May.
It's about May. She's like, I can't turn you in because my life will get harder. She's everything is self-motivated with May. Everything. This is also subtle power tripping in front of him because she's basically like, I mean, there's an undercurrent of like, if you ever piss me off, like I will turn you in. But like, as long as I'm happy and I have you're good. You're a free man. Kasol's smart enough to pick that up. And he's like, okay.
He shall always be scared of prison
always
for the rest of his life.
He's always gonna be scared.
What's
of
the statute of limitations?
Oh, I don't know. But yeah, I don't make it. May fudge the other, court thing. I'm sure she can figure out how to pin something on him if she really wanted to.
Yeah. I'd be terrified of her.
That's what I mean. And then she's about to be like, join forces with me. And it's like, oh dear, like poor Kasol.
Yeah, you have no choice.
Right. Is this a request?
Like, is this jail?
Is it? I can keep a close eye on you forever.
This is the bad place.
Right. Kasol's in the bad place. Yeah. Agreed.
Okay. So Kasol is shocked and clarifies that she's letting him off the hook. And after this question, May moves her arms from a cross position to by her side. And like this body language shows that she's opening herself up to Kasol and like she's no longer guarded around him because again, he's the one who attacked her. Like she has the upper right to be guarded. Yeah, she does have the upper hand.
She's winning. Yeah, this is confident May here.
But also in other words, like she's being honest and genuine. And like she wants genuine as much as you can get from May.
As much as she can be. Yeah, exactly.
And she wants him to see that.
Yeah. I'm a human just like you.
Meanwhile, she's actually an alien.
No, and she's trying to humanize herself. I'm just like you. I'm a normie,
Money? What money?
Yeah, right.
Power?
Exactly. Power.
I don't have
power.
that.
Yeah. No, we're all just friends here. Whatever. I just became your friend 5 seconds ago. Yeah, no.
Meanwhile, the day ends. All right, Kasol, you ready to go to jail?
Right.
I thought you said I was free.
Right. The cops roll up. Yeah. It's like, well, you stole. You pissed me off. There you go.
You looked at I the wrong way.
You looked at I the wrong way. You kept her out. You guys went to that bar, the stripper bar. We're done now. Arrest this man. Yeah. May would absolutely do that shit. And get him on like a parking ticket or some shit. That's May. Never trust her. Don't sleep with one eye open, Kasol. She's got your number.
Yeah, even I don't cross her. You never know what she'll do.
Never know. You literally don't.
Okay, so May explains that she's going to start a foundation that advocates for the rights of those with disabilities, fosters resilience, and helps them achieve independent living. And after hearing this, Kasol kind of lowers his head slightly and like moves his eyes in a way that shows that he is in disbelief. And like by that, I mean, he can't believe that May is doing something like this. Like the person he thought so little of.
Yes.
And like she's not who he thought she was.
Yes.
Because she was this big villain, but now getting to know her.
Right.
And what she wants him to see.
Yes.
Like she is a good person that cares about other people.
Right.
And May then surprises him by telling him to come work with her. And I love that she uses the word with instead of for. Because if she said for, then she would be saying that she's better than him and has more power, which she definitely thinks.
Yes, for sure. It's not like she doesn't think that. She's not saying it.
By saying
she definitely
with,
that.
she is making them equal and showing that they are both good people who are working towards the same goal.
Well, also, like, again, because she says too, like, oh, like, this is a way to stop feeling less guilty and, like, do something and put some good out into the universe. Because the thing that Kasol and May have in common in the series is that they both have been feeling very guilty about, like, the bad karma that they put out there. Like, May representing Batman the way she did, and then Kasol basically blinding May. So they've both been feeling guilty for a really long time. And they're like, I'm going to be punished essentially the rest of my life for this because what I did was so egregious. And so here's Kasol. Like, May then went out there and motivated by getting I, but also, like, she went out there and, like, joined that disability council, went to Jammu, started doing all that stuff. Like, it was actively putting good out in the universe beyond just, like, making reparations for Ben. But also, like, Kasol he didn't do that. He was kind of, like, stuck. Like, yeah, he took care of Ben, but he didn't wrong Ben. Ben was wronged by May, and like, the wronging of Ben was part of the motivation for him to do the bad thing that he did. So basically May is like, hey, by doing this, that's how I felt less guilty for, like, my part in all of this. That's how I'm redeeming myself. That's how I'm creating good karma. You can do that too, Kasol. You don't have to just be stuck in purgatory. That's what she's offering him, because, like, their stories are kind of parallel in that aspect.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, yeah, this is like a join forces with me and we can both, like, do good together and, like, do something, not just, like, be stuck in our feelings and be stuck in the past. Like, let's move forward and be better in the future kind of thing. Because that's, like, part of the theme of this episode a little bit too, around, like, May, the May I and their friends stuff.
Yeah, and, like, I'll get into this in a second. Like, May continues to say that if he wants to stop feeling guilty, he should work hard and put all his effort into it.
Yeah.
And, like, this is exactly what May plans to do as well. Like, she knows that for her to stop feeling guilty, she needs to do everything in her power to make sure other people don't go through similar things. And I think May truly wants Kasol to stop feeling guilty, which is why she is including him. But she also sees the passion behind his eyes as well, because he does care.
Well, yeah, that's why she was like, what's the real reason you never went away? And he's like, I was taking care of Ben with his new disability. Like, he just proved to her that he is somebody that was willing to do this by asking that question. Yeah. It's like she already knew the answer. And was like, confirm this to me. Great. That's what I suspected.
What if that answer was different? What would she have done?
I don't know. I should arrested him. I don't know. I feel like May kind of already knew before she asked that question, because May always knows everything. She's been bugging him for a long time, let's be honest.
She has everybody's phones bugged.
No, because, like, the minute she found out that was the attacker, there's no way her and Ton didn't hire, like, private investigators to go, like, follow Kasol and get her a docket of shit in case she had to sue his ass into oblivion. Let's be honest, it's May. She has a docket on all of these people. She already knew the answer.
That's fair.
So she probably already knew. Maybe he was the one signing the things at Ben's house anytime she sent stuff over there. He was the one signing for it. And then she figured it out. She's like, oh, he's always there. Are they dating? What is this? Same, girl. That's what I thought.
There are more gay people? I wish. Okay, so May tells Kasol that if he can take away someone's eyesight, then he can help give many others a brighter life. And this is the way he can make amends, by writing it for other people.
Mm-hmm.
And Kasol nods his head and looks to Ben, I, and Pang.
Always looking at Ben.
Who are all smiling.
and very far away.
It's basically just a big smile fest, which is a nice change for all of them, because they're usually crying.
Correct. Hurting each other. Drunk. Breaking the law. Yeah, that's nice. It's a wholesome moment between them. Yeah. How you doing with your coffee there, Julie? All right. You can probably get through this planetarium scene.
Yeah. Sorry.
I think the planetarium scene, then maybe do shout outs there.
Okay.
I have a lot.
Planetarium scenes?
No, just both.
There's one inside.
Yeah, no, finish up until them going to, for I's reward shit. Or however you want to do it. I think this is a good place to put the shout outs, like, in the planetarium, because we could finish this, do shout outs, and then stop this and go.
Okay.
Because I have a lot to say about the
You do, which I'm amazed by.
reward scene.
Oh, that's right, because you're comparing it.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
Of course. All right.
Okay, so May and I go back to the planetarium, but for the first time with no secrets between them.
That they know of.
Yeah, that they know of. And May walks I down memory lane by showing her exactly where they met, while I is looking at everything, just trying to remember.
And I love this because it's like, it's basically, this is what Jan did with She's like, I'm going to take you back to the scene of the crime and see if that sparks your memory. And I love this scene because it makes me laugh every time.
But I wonder if it crossed I's mind that this is exactly what is feeling like right now.
No, she's not thinking about right now. She's with May.
But it is.
This is exactly what is going through. Only this is more funny and low stakes.
Yes.
In my mind, compared to what poor fucking is going through. This is hilarious, though.
So May explains she came to participate in a science competition, but then she was extorted for money. And she grabs her neck smiling while saying that part.
Because that's when her knight in shining armor showed up. She's like, and then somebody came and saved my ass and changed my life. What does I say?
And I tilt her head, trying to remember what May is telling her. And May asks if she remembers anything. And I looks a little longer before telling May that she only remembers fighting with Mint.
Yep.
Like, she remembers she was wearing uniform, Mint noticed the name, and then bullied afterwards.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so May starts smiling and is like, that's it? I can't believe it. All right? I would like to point out in this moment that May does not react to the news that
was bullied.
got bullied because of what I did.
Yep.
Because it had nothing to do with her.
It had nothing to do with her. No, getting bullied is getting in the way of I remembering their first meeting. That's what she's mad about. I know. But I have to, first of all, that is hilarious. And I didn't catch that until you said it. Because again, the amount of proof in this show that May literally does not care about as a person is everywhere. But to me, this is this tangible proof that this was just another Tuesday for I. Like, this was just another Tuesday. And the thing that I remember is, like, think about what she just said. She remembers fighting Mint. And what she remembers is what happened to not May. So that's revealing about what I's priority was, because she committed that part to her memory, right? So, yeah. But despite not remembering, I do love that as the scene goes on, I does her best to try and, like, role play what happened based on what May told her. So this whole scene is really funny. I clearly does not fucking remember any of this. It doesn't remember you. And then she, like, tries to role play it. It's so fucking funny. I love it so much. I'm such an idiot.
All right, so I suggest that they should start over properly then. And May replies, how? And I goes on to do one of the cutest things, which is to role play a bit and say, are you all right? You have to fight from now on.
Really
Don't
cute.
let anyone pick on you again.
Again, she doesn't remember this shit.
And May says thank you. And this is when I reaches out her hand to reintroduce herself to May.
Yeah, I love it.
And I could have done this from the beginning
She
instead
could
of
have.
telling May she needs to fight. But I knows that the part of history, like that part, like telling May to fight, is what changed May and made her who she is today.
Right.
So she knew to restate that as well because she wants this, quote, new meeting to be the same.
Yeah, that's a really good point. Because again, I does not remember their interaction, but she's role playing what May cares about, which is very something she would do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She's like, this isn't about me. This is about you. Technically, it's about us. But, you know, I don't remember this. So here's the part you care about. Here's the part I care about. Take my hand.
I reintroduces herself as herself, I, and May does the same after grabbing I's outstretched hand.
I think it's important that I says her full name because, again, the misconception was a boom in Samak, and she says, I'm Ioun in Samak. So I think that's important that she says the full name because that, like, is a full circle clarification based on the first meeting that I doesn't remember. But
Yeah. They then stare at each other in love. Like, I is just so happy to have May in her life, while May is so glad that she has the person she's been thinking of since high school and finally gets to share this memory with her.
it's also a full circle thing because, like, back when they first met, because again, May is the only one that remembers this, there was no introduction. The only reason that May caught the name was because she, like, very quickly glanced at the uniform and, like, made it. You remember her mumbling? She made the mental note to memorize the name, but, like, they never actually introduced themselves. So, like,
Yeah.
if they had to redo this meeting again, an actual introduction with your actual name, I think was really a good way to, like, for them to, like, go about executing this. And May does the same thing too. She doesn't just say her name. She doesn't just say May. She says her full name. She's like Metoe. Like, she says her full name. So, like, I like that they did that. That's a cute little addition or, like, redo of the meeting. I liked it.
Yeah. It is. I'm glad that they can finally be themselves.
Also, they were being themselves. That's the other. Not that I wasn't being herself. She just was wearing a different uniform. She was there fighting bullies and throwing boba at people. Like, she was being herself. Also, like, how did Mint not go, like, that clearly is I and not Oom? You know what I mean? Like, how did they know that I is a twin? Like, you know what I mean? How would they not, like, that is clearly not a Boom. Like, this is I being a little bastard. Maybe Mint wasn't that smart.
Yeah.
Because Mint was from I's school. You know what I mean? In the uniforms they were wearing, they were I's classmates or whatever.
Yeah, you think that
you
they
would think
know.
they'd be like, that's clearly not that's I.
And,
like,
like,
I knew them by name. She
and
was
if
just like,
I
Mint,
knew
what the fuck
that
are you
Mint
doing?
was bullying then wouldn't I just bully Mint
Mint's
back?
Yeah, exactly. Like, that was weird that I didn't do that. Well, you can only. Well, okay, I'll get into it in the novel. Like, yeah, I admits at one point that she literally would steal Oom's uniform and then go pick fights with people. So, like, she literally in the novel did that shit on purpose as Oom so that she can get out of it. So, like, she did this in the novel more than once to Oom, and then Oom would get the repercussions of it. So I was not a great person in the novel either. So I think maybe GMMTV just kind of did a play on that here. We're like, we're gonna limit this to once and make it a really pivotal event. Versus that's a thing I did as a fucking hooligan teenager. Just get her sister in trouble.
That's
constantly.
probably a good idea.
Yeah. It was basically like, I says it in the novel that, like, that was her cry for help because she's like, that's the only way our parents would pay attention to me is if I would, like, start fights at school. Because, like, remember, the parents aren't dead in the novel.
Oh, yeah.
And is the good girl bringing home, like, science awards and shit, so.
You know, I'm kind of okay with them killing off the parents.
Why?
Because, like, if we would have
just gotten the Meemaw stuff.
Yeah, but I just, like, if we would have gotten more parents who, like, ignored the child.
It wasn't an ignoring thing. It was like, I was jealous of It wasn't a thing. So I was like, that was her, like, attention-seeking behavior because was the golden child in her brain.
Okay.
It wasn't an ignoring. That was I's perception of the situation as a child.
Got
the same way where she's like, Meemaw doesn't love me. No, she does. It was just that was I's perception as a child based on, like, what she was noticing. So yeah, it wasn't an ignore. The parents are, like, barely in it, and they're not bad parents. Like, it was just the twins had a rift, and that was it. Yeah.
That's fair. Okay.
I think it makes sense from a casting perspective to be like, we only have to cast and pay one actor versus two to kill them off and be like, for money reasons, here's a grandma.
We don't have to develop two characters.
No, they did pay two actors to be the parents, but like for a scene. And then they're like, we need headshots for the funeral and get out of here.
And your job is done.
And you're done. Meemaw, get in here. Yeah.
So from here, May and I head inside the planetarium. And I says that then and now are so different, but May tells her that it isn't to her. Because this day is just as magical for May, and she tells I that it warms her heart every time.
Yeah.
And then I get super thirsty and tells May that her novel is about to be published, and she has a mock-up of it in hand right now.
Yep.
Because she is more than ready for her epic reward.
She wants her reward. Yeah, that was some thirstiness on display for Mai. That was ridiculous.
And May mentions that she hasn't given I her reward yet.
Right.
Which I beg to differ. Because I feel
Agreed.
like they are forgetting the camper van thing, but okay.
No, I think that, again, the reward shit in Pluto the series gets weird because the original reward was a kiss, and then it off screen changes into sex, and then, like, if you think about the camper van scene, that was I rewarding May, so then May did not reciprocate the reward back. That's where I's thirstiness is coming from. So, like, that's a difference between the scenes. This is May rewarding I, other way around.
Got it.
Something so, like, something I like about this moment, though, like, the fact that they first of all, they go to their meeting spot because May's like, do you remember I? And I was like, literally no. But then I like that they go inside the planetarium, which is where they are now, because it's like kind of like their first date in a way if they're restarting, right? And their first date when I was like cosplaying she also took her to the planetarium. So it's cute that they're kind of like restarting and they're kind of going along a similar trajectory they naturally went along, like at the beginning, even though like I was cosplaying her sister. And like and it's cute that they went here too, because like last time they did both have fun here. I mean, I was dealing with the fact that like, oh shit, I have feelings and she thinks I'm but like still, like, it's cute that they went and did this again because they genuinely had this in common, like having fun at the planetarium. So I like that they did that.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was a cute idea. Yeah.
All right, so they're just being cute. And this is where we're going to pause for some shout outs for our Chaos crew over on Patreon.
Just a quick break before the reward. Woo!
Just to keep you waiting for it. Anyway.
Do it.
Our Chaos crew members on the Big Gay Ride or Die tier and above are Amix Manzone _multi, Ash You So Stunning, Danny, Isla, L, Erica LC, Here For It, Jasmine O, Jill L, Cassie M, Kelsey S, Leona, Michelle G, Monet F, Moving Forward Leading, Nancy D, Pooja S, Regina B, and Worshipachin. Woo! Woo! And our featured Big Gay supporter members for this episode are DG, Maddie W, and Shiley. Thank you so much for all of your support, and thank you to everyone who's watching and listening to this. This is part 2 of our 11th episode of Pluto. By now you know to do all the things, but seriously, please comment, review. If you haven't done it yet, please do it. Share this with somebody. That will help us so much. And like that shows us just as much support as if you were to join Patreon. Like but just by watching this too, we really appreciate your support.
We do. Okay, so then after this, we transition to the scene that I's been waiting for. And honestly, I just have to say, before we even get into this, it's really fucked up that this happened behind Oom's back.
It is.
You know what I mean? Like, I don't understand why these two can't just get together without nefarious shit happening in the background.
Yeah, because like, to them now, still thinks that she's with May.
Correct. They side-pieced without knowing, yes. Although doesn't know. Yeah, no, actively. They have agreed that May will actively date in public. And then they're doing this in private, which is very fucked up, honestly. Because they're like, yeah, no, we'll wait till gets better. And then immediately. Like, this is what I mean about I sets all these rules and then breaks them immediately. It's like, girl, why set the rule? Why?
She has good intentions, but poor execution.
I guess. It's just her being a bad spy. And May doesn't care because it benefits her in this scene. Okay. All right. So, a couple things about this particular scene with them. So, I do like how this scene with them is shot in comparison to the scene in the camper van. So, in this scene, they're in May's room, which is a much bigger space than the camper van, right? So like the camper van was like this tiny, cozy little space, right? Whereas this is a mansion, but we're in May's room, so it's a big, big room. And I think that choreography-wise, they took advantage of the fact that like they are in a bigger space with more room for people to move about, right? So in the beginning, when this starts, we get this like aerial shot from the chandelier in May's room. Just to be like, May's wealthy, don't forget that. And then we like drone in on basically the two of them like aggressively making out, right? Because like they have the space to do that in this area that they're located in.
You know whose view this is? The cockroaches.
Oh, The cockroach that never left. Yeah, honestly, that tracks. It was chilling on the chandelier, and then they came in, and it was like, I gotta get out of here. Yeah, that honestly tracks. Okay, so like again, the beginning of this is there's a lot of movement, and I think that fits the scene really well. Because if you were to compare this scene with the camper scene, like the camper scene was like a first time situation, and I was in charge of that interaction, right? She's the one that brought them there, set up the bunting flags, did a million different things, right? She was in charge of that whole interaction, right? Because the purpose of that was to show I's devotion to May, and it was all about I taking care of May, like in every kind of aspect of that, right? The scene was a very vulnerable one coming from I specifically. It's about I doing actions that show her love because that's her love language, and then the camper scene in particular, which again, it was a smaller space. It's about like warmth, comfort, that kind of stuff. It's very I-oon, if you will. This scene is not about that. That is not the tone of this scene. This scene is about I's reward, right? Because that was the that was the lead up to this. It was like, I was like, by the way, my novel's done, May. You owe me something. Okay? Because as we know, I's been fixated on this thing for like weeks, months. She wrote the fucking novel. It's getting published. Like, she was like really thirsty about this thing, right? So this scene in particular is more about passion, not like connection, warmth, that kind of shit. So I think that like the choreography here makes sense where it's very kinetic because it's conveying that message. And when we like zoom in closer, like there's also this element of like desperation happening in this scene that didn't happen in the camper van scene, because both of them, to your point, they are themselves. They have properly introduced themselves. There is no like shadow of right? There is, but nobody cares about anymore. And it's like they're just being themselves, right? So it's like a maximum vulnerability situation in terms of like, this is me, this is you kind of thing. And to go back to the desperation, so like as I mentioned, and as we all know, I has been craving this moment with May since she first kissed her. Like that was, let's be honest, okay, that's what this has been about the whole show. And then May has also been dying to be in this situation as well, because like she's been fixated on I for 84 years, right? So like there is an element of like, finally this is happening situation. So like hence like when we like continue with this, there's like a frantic way they're like gripping each other and things like that, and like they're in a big hurry to like remove clothing and all that kind of stuff. So it's, again, it like fits the tone and like the message of like what they're trying to convey with this scene. And in this scene, everybody wins except always loses.
Will always lose until she meets Officer Hottie.
Yes. Then things will get better, but that happens off screen, unfortunately.
Watch there be so many plot holes in I's book because she was just rushing to get this reward.
Holes. Oh, you mean like her journal, it really only has like 3 memories in it?
In I's book.
Yeah, in the journal. Oh, in her actual novel.
Yeah, her actual novel that she had to finish to get this reward.
Well, it got published, so like the publisher must have been into the plot holes.
Some books that are questionable get published.
Those are facts you're stating, especially romance books.
And May could have had a hand in getting this book published.
That is true. There's a mysterious publisher called meadowy.publishing.com or some shit, yeah.
We don't get the full facts.
No, you're right. We don't know who the hell published this book. It could be May. Through Ton financing all these novels. You're not wrong, because then she buys like 10 of them at the end, so you know what, I wouldn't be surprised.
Really, she bought all of them.
It's May, yeah, because May also wanted to get to the reward situation. Okay, so anyway, all of that is like, okay, so then all that kinetic energy and stuff is like and frenzy is like the lead up, okay, and it's really just like the making out, cop a feel in your pants and bra shit that happens at the beginning of this. But then like they switch the tone again, because it's not just this like carnal situation. Like there's more to their relationship. They've been on a journey, as we all know. Okay. So yeah, things are really, there's a lot of movement in the choreography. And then when they get to the bed situation, that's when everything slows down. Like they literally slow it down and they're in slow motion for a bit. And I don't think it's random. I think that's a good storytelling choice because like there's a desperation to get to the moment, but then once they get to the moment, it's like they're present. I think it's trying to show that like the characters are like present in the moment. We're witnessing this thing becoming a core memory between the two of them. So I think that's why we get into a slow motion situation because like it like forces you as the viewer to like slow down also and be like, oh yeah, no, there's a connection happening here too. It's not just this like give me my reward right now kind of like transactional thing that's happening because it sounds transactional in the dialogue leading up to this, if that makes sense. And it's definitely not transactional because like we've been following these two idiots for a very, very long time. They don't really have a transactional relationship with each other, really, at all.
When you said core memory, it made me think of Inside Out.
I know.
And I'm picturing this like this is one of their lands in their brain. Like this is a huge landmark.
Right. Yeah, no, I think it is. Like I think that's what this is signifying. Because you know, this episode's a lot about memory and kind of like memory works. So like here's another instance of that kind of happening. All right, so then we transition to like the core memory situation and we get May giving either a big reward or whatever. And then we start getting those like red, white, and royal blue tight shots, which is what I kind of call these like intimate like scenes where they kind of like close up on like body parts to kind of like tell a story. Because the first time I ever really saw that done well was in that movie. And I think that is my personal favorite choice for doing intimate scenes because it's a good way to depict like a timeline without it being gratuitous or like out of context because you still get like the emotions happening with it as well. And I think that's a good choice for these kinds of scenes. And this one is more like not explicit, but it's more, I don't know how to describe it compared to like the camper scene. There's like more of that storytelling happening in this scene compared to like the camper scene. Like the camper scene had some of that red, white, and blue, royal blue stuff, but it wasn't as long of a scene as this one is. Like, if that makes sense.
Yeah. It's like more intimate in a way because it's prolonged.
I guess there was like more of a lead up to this for everybody because like everybody knew this particular scene was gonna happen, like the characters versus like the camper scene. Only I knew that was gonna happen, so like maybe like it was a little bit different. All right. Anyway. Another series that actually does this really well with the tight shots is Clarabelle. Also nailed this. So I might start calling them the Clarabelle shots
because that
like,
would
makes more sense in
people.
The context of the genre of media we're talking about versus Red, White, Blue. Red, White, Blue is a great movie, by the way.
I think Dickinson also did it.
If you like rom-coms, go check that out. Dickinson didn't have as many scenes like this, but like
there was that one.
In the scene they did the Red, White, and Royal Blue shots. But I'm gonna call them the Clarabelle shots in Girl Loves because Clarabelle nailed all of their cinematography.
Yes, they did.
And by the way, this is a really good time to just announce that we will be deep diving into Clarabelle after we finish Pluto. So if you haven't watched Clarabelle, you should go watch that so you can follow the journey as we talk about that next.
You're first to find out.
Yeah, you heard it here first, folks. All right, anyway, back to the scene. So unlike the scene in the camper, like I kind of talked about like the body language situation in that scene and how that was kind of like part of the storytelling. So like in the camper scene, like again, that was orchestrated by I did all of that, right? And it was like, so I's body language in the camper van scene was very much like a protective, making you feel comfortable kind of situation. Cause like, I didn't think May could see, first of all.
That made her more vulnerable in that scene.
There was that. I was under the impression.
Still not a fan of that, but you know, whatever.
I was blind at the time, which is so fucked up. But also, it was like, we're both doing this for the first, because like I never had a relationship, even in the novel, I never had a relationship with a woman before she meets May. So like, it's a moment of first for kind of everybody. And also, there's that element of she's blind, so I have to be like extra attentive and that kind of stuff, which, fuck you, May. That scene. But anyway, it worked out. So I say that to set up the scene here, because this scene is May rewarding I for something that I did to get here, right? And if you watch May in this scene, May's body language does not read the same as I's. Like, you don't get that, like, I'm here to comfort you situation. I'm here to, like, protect you and make you. No. May's body language in this situation reads as possessive, which makes sense for May. Because if you kind of, it's really not surprising. It's more like May is claiming I. That's like the language I'm getting off of her. Because, like, again, like, that was May's motivation, really, the first time she kissed I. Because she admits it. She's like, listen, the only way I could get you to never leave me and to love me more than anyone else was that I had to kiss you senseless. Then it worked, right? Because, like, again, that was the motivation. The motivation wasn't, I wanted to show you how much I loved you. It was like, no, I needed you to understand. I needed you to love me back, right? It was like, I wanted to make you mine situation. So, like, that's May's headspace, like, all the time, right? Because she's very competitive. She wants to win things because she's self-motivated. It's not really, because, like, in the camper van, what was that I's motivation? No, I's motivation is, I want May to be happy. It was about the other person. For May, it's always about her winning shit.
Yeah.
So that's what I mean here. This, like, May's body language is more like, yes, I'm winning. Not like, she's happy. Like, it's very different. Because there's moments like this, the one that's happening right now, where, like, things are going well, I's having a grand old time. And then if you watch May, the way May looks at I, it's more like a possession thing. You know what I mean? She's like, yes, I'm doing this. May, she's mine. It's kind of reads that way, which is not a bad thing. And I'm not, like, saying May's a bad person because of that. There's other reasons. I'm not saying she's a bad person because of that. I'm just saying the way she approached the sex scene was very different than the way I approaches it. Because they're different people with different headspaces and different priorities. And there is a purpose to both of these scenes, is basically what I'm saying. They're very, very different. The tones are different. Because they are in a different place now. Like, yes, they're not in a camper van. They're in May's bedroom. But it's there are different headspaces, okay? And, like, to add to the emphasis of, like, May being, like, possessive and shit, like, even, like, what she's doing comes off as possessive. There's a lot of, like, biting and shit that comes from May, and, like, her, like, smiling and shit like that. Because, like, that's May, okay? It's less cuddly the way I was, and it's more like a hungry, thirsty bitch, which, like, good for her, right? You know what? Good for her. May's waited 84 years for this. She can do whatever the hell she wants. And then one of the last things I kind of wanted to talk about that was similar is the appearance of the Pluto necklace, because in the camper van scene, that was right before I gave her the Pluto necklace. And so there were moments in that scene where there was the Pluto necklace was, like, basically sitting on May's, like, neck, and it was, like, kind of like a focal point in the shot. In this one, because, like, roles are kind of reversed and you have May literally as the top in this situation, like, the necklace is, like, dangling, and there's a couple of shots where it's very prominent. It's, like, in the middle of the frame again, so that's same as the other thing. However, it's more like Pluto is, like, instead of kind of being closest to May, it's kind of like hovering between them. So there's more of a, like, they're more connected in this scene in a way, if you want to go with, like, the space metaphor that's always there, and, like, the Pluto being their shared thing. So they're both closer. So they're in each other's orbit, I guess you can kind of say, to, like, finish out the Pluto orbiting metaphor with these two that Chow started. So
You made the scene even more beautiful.
did I? I hope so. I mean, because, like, these scenes, they don't have many scenes like this in the show. And every time they have one, it's like there's a reason they're doing it other than to just get people to ship actors and, like, sell shit to you. Because they do try to sell shit to you. Because the last thing that this scene has in common with the camper van scene is product placement.
Because we must always have product placement.
And what's our product placement scene this time, Kaitlynn?
It's the Pluto candle.
Yeah, so both scenes end the same way, which is them going at it with Pluto candles and focus.
But honestly, these candles are beautiful, so
I'm
not mad about it.
I'm not mad at them. They're nice little vanilla scented candles. You gotta make money somehow, and candles appearing in this scene isn't weird. If there was, like, noodles sitting there, that would be weird. You know what I mean?
Yes. No, oh my god, could you imagine if they're trying to sell noodles in this?
In the middle of this? Or like, it's you know how like, I don't know, in old-timey movies it was like, let's have a cigarette after sex. It's like, let's eat noodles. You know what I mean? They could, but it would be weird. But like
they're just they start
They
the noodles
could.
and wait for it to be done and like
right,
it's done
right,
by
exactly,
the time
right,
they're done.
right. So yeah, that's your commercial. By the
No,
time
they're
you're
like,
done
oh
having
damn,
sex,
it's cold now.
your noodles are ready. Yeah, no, that would be insane. They could do it, but the candles made more sense. And also, the necklace is another thing they were selling at the time. But these have actual connections because like these objects were actually used in the scene as part of the story. Because remember, like the candles, they're the scented candles that help May navigate. That was like I brought them to Karat, and that was a big like, oh, she loves me moment. So like these props make sense. Is what I'm saying. Like they did a good job with like product integration into the show to sell you shit, because then it doesn't feel
it's
like
more
a commercial.
natural. Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what doesn't make sense?
The next scene.
Yes, the next scene.
It really
So
doesn't.
next we head to one of the craziest scenes. You want to bring up the first opening shot?
Oh yeah. So we're gonna get to the throuple that could have been but wasn't seen in a second. And my first question is like, so we transition away from I and May with the candles to an establishing shot of a deck of tarot cards. And then it is established in the dialogue we are at Officer Hottie's house. So why the hell are tarot cards the establishing shot when she has repeatedly said, canonically, I don't believe in that shit? We're not at Jan's. Like, why was that the establishing shot?
They were a gift from Jan, and she's trying to convince herself she might have feelings.
I don't know. I mean, a bowl of kanji would have made more sense as the establishing. I'd be like, we are at Officer Hottie's, in case you're wondering. But it makes it seem like we're at Jan's. And then
establishing shot of the uniform folded up.
Yeah, and then like the dialogue is like, Officer Hottie's like, I called you both here today. And I'm like, we're not at Jan's.
We are gathered here today
to... I don't know what
marry the three of us.
I guess. I don't know what we're doing in this scene. I don't know.
Let's unpack it, shall we?
I would love to have been in the writer's room where they were coming up with this dealie. They're like, what? How high were the writers when they wrote this? Is my question.
I don't know.
They're like, we have 5 minutes to resolve whatever this is. What's the quickest way we can do that? And they're like, let's get them all in a room.
And just see what happens.
And just see what happens. This wasn't scripted.
Yeah, this was just all the actors.
All the actors are like, how the fuck? Why are we in charge of this?
And they were just sleep deprived.
And they're like, I'm tired. I'm just gonna make out with you. This was such a weird scene.
Right.
Anyway.
So, in the scene, everyone is literally just staring at each other. And so Officer Hottie breaks the silence by apologizing. Because she was confused and wanted to talk to both of them at once. So she called them both to her apartment. So, like, Officer Hottie is a get shit done efficiently girl. Because she wants the true story, and she wants it all in one go. She's not messing around here.
No.
So Officer Hottie directly asked Pang how long she has liked Jan. And Pang looks to Jan, who is smiling at her and says since they broke up. So since Officer Hottie and Pang has broken up.
Okay, so at least Pang wasn't like, you were their side piece.
Yes.
Yeah, so there's that. Because, like, we did see Pang, like, be like, I need to, like, get over I need to work on my feelings.
Yeah.
She did approach this in a healthy manner. Actually, I just realized by looking at some of these shots, this is Jan's place.
It is?
It is Jan's place. So, like, this is weird. So I guess that Officer Hottie must have been like...
She called...
I think, yeah, this is weird. I think that the whole scene doesn't make sense. So, like, this also tracks. I think maybe... Officer Hottie probably contacted Jan and was like, oh, can I see you? And then Jan's like, Pang's here. And then she's probably like, great, keep her there. I need to talk to both of you. Maybe that's what happened, but like, it's still really weird.
That's not what the dialogue reads,
I know, it really doesn't. It reads like Officer Hottie was like, meet me here, and called them separately. And then like Jan and Pang showed up and like, you're here, why are you here?
Like, Jan, I'm at your house.
Right, it's very weird. Unless Officer Hottie contacted Jan and was like, can you get Pang over there? And then Pang didn't know. I feel like not everybody knew they were all going to be in this room prior to like the It's very weird.
Yeah, she must have came over and they were both there.
Or something like that had to have happened. Yeah, and she kind of showed up. This seemed like not everybody was on the same page at the start of this. That's all. It's very weird. But yeah, I think it is Jan's, hence the tarot cards. It's still weird.
Yeah, it is.
Anyway,
this whole scene is weird, but I love this scene so much at the same time.
It's so weird. Anyway.
Anyway, after Pang says that
she was in love with Officer Hottie after
they broke up. Yeah. Since they broke up. And so Officer Hottie furrows her eyebrows at the statement. And I can't tell if it's because she can't believe she has liked her for that long, or if it was because she didn't break up with her because she liked Jan already.
Yeah, that's true.
Because she's like, maybe she already loves someone else.
Right. Right, because like Officer Hottie for a very long time was like, she had to reconcile with the fact that Pang was being very distant when they were together.
Yeah.
Pang was already over it. But then I don't know, because Officer Hottie saw, I think you're right. I think she was like, oh, I'm kind of surprised by this, maybe, because like the thing that got Officer Hottie to like get out of denial about this was the fact that she saw Pang on the webcam, or the home webcam, whatever, being like, I'm in love with I. So when would she have had time to fall in love with Jan? I guess, like, if she was into I.
Also, the way that Pang says this makes it seem like she was in love with Jan
immediately after the breakup.
Yeah, and a lot longer. It just happened, guys.
It really just happened. Yeah, no, I know.
Like, you guys didn't even know each other when you broke up.
That's what I mean. Pang took a good amount of time to be like, I need to be by myself and figure my shit out. I'm breaking up with...
Someone in the writer's room didn't get this right.
They did some Glee shit where they just forgot everything they wrote and then wrote this scene.
They're like, we had to resolve so many plot holes. Yeah. We're tired.
They're like, fuck. And it's like, not like they can literally go back to the source material and be like, what did Chow do? Because Chow didn't even make them people. So they were on their own, is what I'm saying. Anyway, so that is the scene.
All right. Then Pang asks Officer Hottie a similar question, which is if she has started liking Jan yet.
What a shitty question to have to ask, though. In front of Jan.
In front of Jan.
In front of Jan.
We forget Jan's here a lot, too.
We forget everybody's here in this scene. This scene is crazy.
So, Officer Hottie looks to Jan, who has an expectant face, but she's not smiling. And Officer Hottie explains that she feels comfortable when she is with Jan, but the memories she has with Pang are still so vivid. Okay, so Officer Hottie continues to say that when Pang told her she liked Jan, she couldn't help wonder why it couldn't be me.
Girl, yeah.
And it's just another reason that Officer Hottie and should be together, because they can bond over the fact that people they are into someone else.
Yes. Yes. This scene in particular had me screaming at the television, honestly, when I first watched it. Because I empathize with Officer Hottie in this situation, like, personally, and, like, also, she keeps getting Pluto, and it just pisses me off, like, repeatedly. So I was mad at this scene when I watched it, because I was like, everyone does this shit in front of each other, and they're like, anyway, so it's, like, really crazy.
I'm just more mad at the fact that GMMTV made her up and then Pluto'd her.
Correct, yeah, I know. It's really insane. But I will say, to your point about the Officer Hottie parallel, I do appreciate the overall plot that they gave her, in terms of, like, how hard it is to move on from, like, romantic feelings that affect you deeply sometimes, even when the relationship is over. Like, sometimes, like, because emotions are irrational, and it's like, you can't just be like, turn them off, move on. Like, sometimes they linger. Like, grief is like that, you know? And clearly in the scene, you can see that, like, even though, like, Officer Hottie was with Jan and felt comfortable with Jan, the way felt comfortable with Paul, like, she was clearly in her feelings about Pang that whole time, right? Mm-hmm. And, like, I like that the show really takes the time to depict how processing those feelings, even after the relationship ends, really does vary from person to person. Because, like, in this relationship in particular, because then we also get Pang. We also got Pang's journey, and Pang's journey of processing, moving on, happens very differently. But she goes through all those steps, right? And we saw her do it. Okay, so, like, the cool thing about Pang is Pang, like, fell out of love with Officer Hottie, right? Very slow, and it was slow, and it was kind of subtle. And then she was, like, recognized that her feelings for like, were there, and that kind of stuff. And then was like, okay, but I have to get over those feelings too that have been since they were kids. And she's like, okay, but I gotta like turn that off or I lose my friend. So like she went off screen and did therapy or whatever, and then got in a better place. And then Jan shows up, and then she's like, oh, okay, and then kind of like moved on. Like she wasn't conscious of the Jan part. It just like that kind of happened, right? But Pang was in a place where she had kind of like healed, and so she had space for Jan. You know what I mean? Like emotionally speaking, Officer Hottie doesn't have space because that's why that line of like, anytime I see Pang, the feelings come back, meaning she's not like emotionally over.
Yeah, she's also had less time to like deal with this because Pang was
fell out of
processing
love during the relationship. Yeah, exactly. And like Officer Hottie was the one that like fell harder kind of thing. And so like, yeah, it was going to take her longer. You know what I mean? Same way with like and May, because let's go back to and May, because like May moved on from the second she realized wasn't her first love. Like
that's insane.
She moved on immediately. Like Pang, you saw her slowly kind of do this thing. May, it was the instant she was like, you're not the person.
I mean, to be fair, like she was like, something's wrong. I still don't understand how she thought something was wrong.
No, she was like, something's wrong. You're being weirdly jealous, because she wasn't into the fact that was being possessive, and then like she's like, is insecure, and like the person that saved me was very confident and secure.
You know, people have trauma later though, and like have changed. Like,
I really should have tipped May off when she reunites with adult and adult is getting bullied and can't get herself out of it. That either that's not the same person, or more statistically speaking, something changed since high school. Something changed.
You know, when like real life responsibility comes into play.
Yeah, you know, when you're not, throwing boba at people because you're a child with no responsibilities. Yeah, there's that. So anyway. But wait. So I just, I want to say that I like that with Officer Hottie in this situationship that we're talking about here, that like Officer Hottie and to kind of complete the story, like they fell the hardest for their partners essentially, and then therefore it takes them the longest to like heal from that. And so I thought that aspect of Pluto was very, very real, because feelings and emotions are uncontrollable and they're so weird, and sometimes it is like that. And then you end up with this messy situation where like Jan's like, why can't you be into me? And like, because like Officer Hottie's not in the place to be in a relationship again. Like, even though she's like, I like being with someone who's like just like being with you, because she's like, I like hanging out, but like I don't have it in my heart right now for that. And then Pang's like, hey Jan, I'm here, like, can't you love me? And you know what I mean? It's kind of like everybody was in a little bit of a different place.
Yeah,
kind of like, anyway, I don't know Jan's backstory, we don't get into that, but like I do like that they kind of show those, especially with with Pang and Officer Hottie. I really like the way they show both of them go through like heartbreak processing. It just happened.
It's great that we got so many scenes like that too.
No, I know. I liked their story when it came to that better than like the May thing, just because May pivots so fast. Yeah. But that's May for you. Yeah, that's Pang didn't. Pang was at least like respectful of. And she was like, I don't want to hurt Officer Hottie. And like, she was genuine about it. You know what I mean? Like, she was like a pretty empathetic person, actually, Pang. The writers gave her a lot. I'm surprised. Yeah. I know.
I mean, she got more than Jan because she's I's
best friend. And Pang in the novel has more going on, because I is the point of view character. You can't be in May's head, because then you wouldn't get the reveals where she's like, I can see her and I can't let her know I can see her. Like, you have to be in I's head for that story to work.
Realistically, you have to be in the person who knows literally nothing.
Exactly, right. So like, I does regularly interact with Pang in the novel. So Pang is a fully fleshed character for them to start with. And then Jan got a lot more because of the way they wrote this, but like, yeah.
But back to the crazy scene that we have right now.
I just appreciated before we get to the crazy.
It's good. Prolong the crazy. We then do this somewhat like Spider-Man pointing meme thing where Officer Hottie is looking at Pang, who is looking at Jan, who is looking at Officer Hottie, and like, this is basically showing that no one is on the same page here right now.
Not right now.
And you know what doesn't help? what happens next.
What Pang does next. Yeah, no. It does, but it doesn't.
Which is that Pang goes and kisses Officer Hottie.
in front of Jan.
And, like, I guess that this was Pang's way of trying to figure out if she still had feelings for Officer Hottie. Maybe. But
I don't think so, but yeah, continue.
yeah, I know. It's not actually that. We'll get there. But it was right in front of Jan.
It's in front of Jan.
Okay? All right. So with that said, that's not actually it. Because Pang then says that it is how she feels towards Officer Hottie. And I'm all confused again. And so is Officer Hottie. Because what the hell was that? You don't kiss someone and then says, that's how I feel about you. After you break up with them and tell them that you're not in love with them anymore. Okay? So Officer Hottie is confused.
Well, like, here's the thing with Pang, though. Okay, the way she kisses Officer Hottie is kind of like, I think, the point, where it's like, it's very chaste and it's like lacking in all emotion whatsoever. And she's like, Officer Hottie, I've explained this to you so many times, how this is over. Okay, words have failed us. I need more than words. And Us the series came out later, so I don't have the actual song. So let me do an action to convey what the fuck I've been talking about.
And I'll get into that.
Yeah, exactly. Too. And I think that's what this is. And Officer Hottie's like, I still don't understand this, to your point, because you just kissed me. What do you mean you're over me?
Yes.
Right.
And we will get to, like, because something happens that actually makes it relevant,
right? Because
why this happens.
Because Officer Hottie still has feelings for Pang. So for Pang to kiss her, that's not going to translate.
Yeah, and
exactly.
She's like, "Oh, you love me, so why are we together?" That's why she's confused right now.
Right? No, exactly.
You know who else is probably confused right now? Jan. So what does Jan do?
Jan's like, okay,
we're
done talking.
Yes, she follows in Pang's footsteps
for some reason,
and also kisses Officer Hottie. Is Officer Hottie consenting to these kisses? Definitely not this one.
No.
But when in doubt, Jan shoots her shot. And I guess she wanted to see, like, she did want to see if there was any possibility that Officer Hottie could have feelings for her.
You know what this is like? What this is like?
What is it like, Theora?
Okay. Remember when I and May reunite? May's like, I have no other cards left other than to kiss you, to make you
Why
feel.
Is that where we're going with
I
this
don't know. I'm just saying it's because, like, again, I think the writers are very much like, again, you have Officer Hottie, who's basically and then you have Pang, who is basically I guess. No, May. And then you have, like, Jan, who's and they're in the same love triangle, and they're like, how did that one get resolved? May kissed and I was like, oh my god, that's what love means. So I think they're trying to do the opposite of that, where Jan's like, I have no other cards because I've tried to show. And Jan did all the things. She's like, I've told you very explicitly I'm into you. I keep buying you your favorite food. You know what I mean? Jan's like, I keep doing all the things. And then, like, this is the last thing I haven't done yet. It's a desperate move.
But you know why I'm confused?
Because all of this is confusing.
Because Jan and Pang kissed already.
I know. We keep
like, what?
Have they?
Yeah, didn't they?
No.
They had that scene where their hands were touching, and, like, I thought they
didn't kiss.
They didn't kiss?
No.
Wow,
they were just
my brain made up shit.
They were just holding a plant for an inordinate amount of time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My brain was like, this was weird, and put a kiss in there. Okay, never mind.
This is their first kiss.
That's even weirder. All right, we'll get there. We will get there.
That's
okay?
weirder.
All right, we'll get there.
I'm aware.
All right, so Officer Hottie is shocked that Jan is kissing her, and she almost immediately shoves her away from her.
I know.
Which she then feels bad about, because it just shows how she really feels.
Yeah, that
and
was
it confirms for Jan that she has no shot with her and never has.
Yeah.
So Jan asks Officer Hottie if she ever had feelings for her at all. And Officer Hottie can't respond to that because the answer is no. And she can't get the words out. So we then cut to Pang, who is staring at Jan, and since we are kissing people to see how we really feel, Pang does the only logical thing to her. To her.
And to maybe May, if May was there.
So she pulls Jan close to her and kisses her.
Oh my god.
Leaving Officer Hottie to really feel like the third wheel. Officer Hottie asked for none of this, except to just talk to them.
Here's the deal, though. Pang and Jan don't just kiss. They start making out in front of Officer Hottie. It, like, escalates. So it's, like, worse.
Pang and Jan's kiss goes on for 5 business days.
It does.
And Officer Hottie is left confused and heartbroken because in her head, how the hell did this happen?
Seriously.
And also, what the hell is happening?
How did
We're
we
also
get here?
asking that.
Yes, I'm sincerely asking that. How did we get here?
And as Pang and Jan pull apart, Pang tells Jan that she likes her so much. And this confession makes Officer Hottie collapse into a chair that is luckily right behind her.
Thank God.
And now Officer Hottie understands what Pang meant when she kissed her. Because Pang's kiss with her had love behind it,
Correct.
but no passion. Whereas her kiss with Jan was full of passion and she didn't want to stop. Like, oh my God, guys, 5 business days.
Yes.
We were getting into the weekend.
This is bad.
Basically, the spark in their relationship died for Pang, and she has truly moved on, which Officer Hottie is now unfortunately seeing with her own eyes.
Yeah. Yeah. This is like watching I and May outside the house, and she's like, oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just really shitty that this is, like, Pang moved on with the person that Officer Hottie has gotten close to over the past few
I know.
weeks, months.
I know.
I don't know.
What is time in this show? Seriously? Yeah, I know, for real. I know, that is the shitty part. So then Officer Hottie gets Plutoed by to like the far reaches of space because like she doesn't even have her like confidant friend anymore, really. Because Pang's about to swoop in and take her away, basically. So it's kind of shitty. Because she needed a friend, let's be honest. She's going through whatever she's going through at work that the writers forget about and never fully
and
explain.
like just randomly throw in there at the end.
So like she needed a friend, and then the friend was Jan, and then now this is
I
over.
feel like there was a lot of scenes that Officer Hottie had, and they just cut it for time.
Probably.
And I wish we could see that.
I
And if
agree.
there aren't any, what the hell did we do, GMMTV? Like, that's us asking you that?
Correct.
Ugh.
Yeah.
Anyway.
This scene was something.
All right, so no one speaks for the rest of the scene while Jan is processing
What do you say to this?
and Pang is staring really hopeful. Meanwhile, Officer Hottie is getting annoyed and can't even look at them.
I mean, that's valid.
Yeah.
That's valid.
Because, like, what the hell was that?
She was like, I called this meeting for answers, and this is not the answer I wanted. This is more than I asked for.
I didn't know it was reciprocated.
I know. I mean,
I was trying to figure my shit out, not your shit.
Right. Yeah, I know, right? She's the one left with more questions than answers, and then like they're like, oh, we're good now.
You're like, our life is perfect. We live happily ever after.
This is ridiculous.
With plants.
That was fucked up. But I mean, that's one way to resolve that, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway,
we then head back to May's. And May is about to wake up. And once again wakes up alone.
yes. After spending the night with I.
Yes, after this amazing night that she just had.
I's missing again.
She's gone.
That's never good.
But at least I left a note. But it really sucks because like May told her that it made her really sad to wake up with her sight and not have I be right there.
I'm such an idiot.
And I feel like this really sucks for her because they just had an amazing night and she is once again waking up alone. Like,
you're not wrong.
All the things. Like,
You're
this
not
is
wrong.
when she'd want her to wake. Like,
You're not wrong. Yeah, exactly. Right. You idiot.
Glow.
Yeah, maybe one day I will stick around until May wakes up.
No, she was just had so much energy.
Okay, I do love the note though, and I think it's really cute. Where she basically is like, "Here's my novel. Also, I left to get papaya salad. I'll be right back."
Yeah.
And so my question is I gonna go get the papaya salad from May Employee's favorite place this time, or is she gonna try that shop again with the angry owner?
Oh,
Yeah.
that's a good question.
Did she learn her
Well,
lesson?
I mean, whatever. I feel like whatever's more convenient because I said that she was out delivering, so I'm assuming she had to work.
That's also true.
And and then she's like, yeah, we'll be back with papaya salad. And so like the note is on top of the copy of her book. So like I kind of love this because she's showing proof that she earned her reward.
Yeah, she's like, I wasn't just lying. Like
and
some
it's
people in
also
this
to
room.
give May something to read while she waits for her to come back.
Well, she wrote it for May, so yeah.
All right, so May looks at the book first and then looks at the floor and sees that their couple slippers are once again reunited. Yay!
So Did I bring those with? When did she have time to?
I don't know. Also, what if came over and saw the slippers?
Oh my god! No, does come over. I mean, it's too late for that for now, but yeah.
Yes.
What if saw the slippers and was like, "What was May? I guess what was May gonna do? Be like, thanks for bringing them back,
And then she'd be like, would be like, I was here.
Or then maybe May would make up some shit to be like, oh, I replaced them.
Because I wanted you to have one here too.
Right? Yeah. They should be together.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. I don't think May would give a shit, honestly, to even explain that to actual but yeah, I think May would make up some shit.
Anyway. Well, it would make things worse for if found out. So.
Right, so then May is motivated. Yes, I understand. I'm with you now.
All right, so may be alone, but has taken steps to make sure May didn't feel like that when she woke up, which is good. But would have been better
if I was there.
Yeah, if I was there.
Agreed.
So May's phone then dings. And when she picks it up, she does not look thrilled to see who it is. And she reads what text is left for her. And texted her saying that she will be there to pick her up. Now what is May supposed to do? She agreed not to tell her about her relationship with so she has no choice but to play along.
I'm surprised May wasn't like, I'm sick. Or she's like, I gotta
be like, oh, it's okay. We've been together all the time when you were sick.
She's like, I'm already in the office. On Sunday or whatever.
Yeah, there's no question about it. She's like, I'll be there to pick you up.
Yeah, no, there's no anything. Yeah,
we ride at dawn.
We ride at dawn. Or whatever time it is.
We ride at 10.
Yeah.
All right.
Excuse me.
Meanwhile, is back home and she brought food home for But isn't there. And had brought back a specific order that likes, like showing she cares about her.
I want to talk about that order really quickly, though, because I think, so she says, I brought back like this salad with 1 chili in it, is what she says, Karat salad. And I think I finally found something that May and actually have in common, other than actually genuinely caring about I don't know about May, but like, And I think that's the spice level of their food. Okay, because like I think that what I means by that, it only has 1 chili. I think that means like it's a lower spice level. And we do know from the scenes with the papaya salad debacle with when I met Ploy for the first time that like May also has a low heat tolerance. So that looks like that is something that May and have in common.
Which is important, like to have similar food tastes.
Yeah, for sure. They're not a fan of prick.
Nope, they are not.
Less prick, please.
I forgot the word like that's without and with.
My side prick, I think. Without chilies.
Yes. Thank you. Damn. Again, Theora has an amazing memory. It puts me to shame a lot.
Sometimes.
All right. So, Meemaw tells that left a while ago. And that's the end of that scene. I love that we had to be like, I's home now.
Well, it's cute that I was like, okay, May, I'll come back and bring you food. But then what does I do first? She brings
she's thinking
food.
of first.
Because
she doesn't stay with May.
We are reinforcing that over and over again that I cares the most about That's what we're doing. And she even like, I got you your special order. I remembered like, that's what we're doing here because shit's about to go down.
They're yelling timber.
It's about to go down.
It's going down. Downtown.
Okay, so what happens next, Kaitlynn?
All right, so now we're going to May, and she's now with And is very focused on driving May to who knows where.
Okay, wait, but can we pause before we get any further into this? Because the first shot of is super unnerving. Because she's crying already. Like, if you look, there is a tear going down her cheek already. And I swear that bitch is not blinking when she's driving. Anytime
she looks terrifying.
Right. It's so unnerving. Like, just the first shot, because you don't know what's going on. Because, again, that text was just like, I'm coming to get you. And then that's...
Dun, dun, dun.
Right, and that is the first shot you get of and you're like, this is not...
She's not okay.
Good. She's not okay. Yeah, right.
It's gotten worse since the last time we saw her.
It's gonna get worse before it gets better, guys.
soon it'll get worse because it's only downhill from here.
Well, it does get better eventually. But yeah, for this episode.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, I just had to point that out immediately. Oom's crying already.
Well, we know where they're going, but May doesn't.
How does it feel not to know anything, May? It sucks, doesn't it, bitch?
This is actually like the scene/episode where she has literally no idea what's happening.
Yeah.
Even more so when I was the wild card.
Oh my god, yeah.
She's like literally no idea.
No idea. Yeah.
Because you don't even know what actually knows.
Who knows what is capable of at this part? You're like, anyway. Continue.
Yeah, she could have woken up with a different personality too.
It's true. We don't know. Because nobody fucking talks to actually, as a person. Yeah, except Jan.
Okay. So May is really concerned because she doesn't want to be here. She has no idea what to say to and she has no idea where they are going. So to break the silence, May brings up that is back to driving.
Oh my god, actually, that's a really good point. I didn't, that's actually a good question, May, because was in a car accident.
Mm-hmm. Which makes immediately smile because May just messed up.
Oh shit, you're right. Yeah. You're back to driving.
Because she isn't supposed to know was in a coma.
Oh, May. That's how unnerved May is right now. Yeah, was fucking scary. Look at her.
May, literally all the things dropped.
Ooh, yeah. May's like, I'm in danger.
And that's why she smiles, because she caught her.
Like, May, you bitch.
This is why they were together for that long, because they are the same person.
Mm-hmm. Oh shit, that's real good. Ooh, that's good. My poor baby. But it is having known she was in a coma. That is a valid question. I would be afraid to drive if I was
Oh yeah.
But I mean, if she didn't have her memories back, she'd be like, "What the fuck are you talking about?"
I mean,
yeah.
And
but I love
the only thing she knows right now is that I is supposed to have played to be her because they didn't want to worry May.
Good for you, But then she's like, okay, cool. May is dropping the bullshit. Allegedly. Well, that's what wants.
So, yeah. So, plays dumb for a second and says, don't I always drive to pick you up?
Sometimes you ride a motorcycle. It's kind of weird. Sometimes you go to your car and then don't come back.
So May realizes she messed up. And again, this is not usual for her. And starts panicking a bit.
Bitch.
Because this isn't like her. And she tries to smooth it over, but interrupts her and yells for her not to lie to her. And tells her that she knows that this just woke up from a coma. She knows that she knows that this just woke up from a coma and that she has been with someone else. May is rightfully confused about how knows all this. Because Jan really should and could have filled people in and just sent a mass text to everyone that said, sorry, she wore me down and I couldn't lie to her anymore.
But apparently we don't communicate with people.
We don't do technology.
We don't do technology either.
May starts getting worried about what the hell is happening. And is really confused about where is taking her now. That she knows things aren't as they actually seem.
This is not a date.
So May sneakily calls I so she can be in on the information that is happening. So I answers and is like, oh, May. And then immediately hears May ask where is taking her. And responds that she is taking her to the place where they can be together forever. So is she gonna kill her?
Right. My question is, what the fuck did mean by that?
No, it sounds Seriously. Like she was planning a double suicide.
Yeah, it sounds like a murder-suicide. That's where my brain went. But if you're listening to this, and you have no idea that has her memories back, and May is in the car with and is like, where are you taking me, And like, the place where we can be together forever. Why would I think that's suspicious? Because in I's brain, she's like, okay, thinks she's dating May. Why would you think that sentence was weird if you're just coming into the conversation right there? Because I freaks out and then goes after them, but why? Why did I do that?
The tone?
Maybe? I don't know, because those words don't seem suspicious unless it's code for murder-suicide. You know what I mean? It's because if May called her earlier,
I think it's because May called her and didn't say anything.
Possibly
because she wants her to listen to this conversation. So something must be wrong.
Yeah, I guess. But like just hearing that part of the conversation as I isn't super weird. But yeah, I think the context of May is calling me out of nowhere, didn't say hi to me, and it's just like, what are you doing? Like, and May's voice was very like, what are you doing, Like, your sister's unstable.
Very.
Yeah, because everyone fucking forgot about her. Anyway, I don't, Anyway, good for you, But yeah, yeah. Let us know in the comments what you think meant by that, because my brain immediately jumped to murder suicide. Like she's gonna kill May and then
really
kill herself,
thought,
and then that was
because
we're
where they can be forever.
Grave. Yeah.
Even if they were just dating, like, and this is face value,
That
forever it has to go past a lifetime. So like they can't be anywhere forever unless they're dead.
Correct. Or it was like, I think like if it was like a loving tone, it could be like, I'm gonna propose to you and then we'll start our forever, but that's not
the sweet tone. That's not a sweet tone at all.
That was not Oom's tone. That's not what's going on. I got murder suicide from this.
Yeah.
Yeah, murder suicide. She's like, I'm about to kill you, bitch.
An AU, Romeo and Juliet.
But yeah, only more violent, I'm pretty sure. And less consensual murder suicide. That was suicide, double suicide.
Spoiler.
This is murder suicide, where would murder May and then kill herself. Yeah. That was the vibe I was getting.
Okay.
Anyway,
back to the scene.
Make sure it wasn't just me. I was like, oh god, it was suicide.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Back to this.
May looks confused. Looks like confused while takes her eyes off the road to look over at May with fake love and smugness. I was trying so hard to describe what this look was.
This looks like I got a knife in the backseat with your name on it.
And I'm not afraid to use it.
Yeah, no, this looks like I'm about to kill you. Like, that's what this looks like. It's murderous.
Yeah, whatever this look actually is,
she's not
it looks evil, and is not okay.
Is not okay, in case May did not clock that, because I know she doesn't pay attention to By the way, this woman is not okay. Look what you made me do.
What you made me do.
Honestly, yeah, girl. You're rolling with some shady bitches. But yeah, that look, is chilling. Chilling is the word. That is a chilling look. I would be fucking scared out of my mind if I was May.
I'm scared now watching it.
Also, look at the road.
Yeah, no,
girl, you were driving.
She took her. I knew it was gonna happen the second time I watched, and she still took her eyes off the road. I'm like, nope, we're bracing for impact.
You were in a coma because of a car accident. Come on, girl. Now's not the time.
Well, to be fair, she wasn't driving.
To be fair, she probably also doesn't really remember all that. But anyway,
at least she's not supposed to. All right, so. Oom's not okay.
No.
And I knows this now. So she's tracking May with Soul Sync, which is a fancy find, my friends, and immediately takes off. Without telling Meemaw.
Poor Meemaw.
Once again. And like, who is just left to worry and wonder why I ran out so quickly. No one tells Meemaw anything.
No one tells Meemaw a goddamn thing.
But apparently she knew about May, so that's something.
That's what told her about May.
Yeah.
But oh my god, yeah. Though what a creepy ass way to end that part of the episode and then like go to commercials. Like that was some fucked up shit. Ooh. I don't blame her though. Okay. So I think that Michelle G got it right, and that this is probably going to be a 3-part episode because yes. So with that, I think now would be a good time for me to go through the novel stuff, because otherwise the last part is going to take forever, because the last part is all the shit, and that's going to take forever. So I kept saying, Kaitlynn, that the book is crazier.
Oh no.
So
am I going to get to learn stuff about the book?
I'm going to give you the book stuff to set up the scene for when we get to the final part of this episode. So okay, let me find it. So give me like a second.
Actually, it's this whole thing.
Oh my god, yeah, I forgot about this. Oh no. No. I think I told you about this, but I just found it in the novel. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm trying to get to the part where we like get to this part of the story because it's insane. Okay. But anyway, I just in the same part. I just read, the doctor discharged so she can finally go home today. This is I's point of view. My younger twin is much better now. She can walk normally, but her memories are not all back yet. That, however, makes my parents feel relieved because they don't want her to go crazy because her husband died on her wedding night. Hold on. Oh shit, where was it? Oh yeah, so I mean, this is I mean, that would be how she feels when all her memories come back, ... because it's I assuming that's how she's gonna feel. Then it was talking to I. She's like, she's at home with her family. And she's like, did anyone use my credit card when I was in a coma?
Oh, yeah.
When gets home, she opens her letters and finds the credit card bills. When I hear that, I startle and remain silent, pretending not to hear the question. This is I. And then I is so different. And then her mom is the first person to respond. Mom says, no, I didn't even know that you had a credit card. And then like, it's probably dad then. And then dad's like, hey, I didn't take your credit card. And then like, did you do it? Everyone stares at me as I pretend to be watching TV. I give everyone a cold stare and start to pick a fight. And I says, you're looking for someone to blame. You throw everything that's unwanted at me.
What, girl?
No, I is not a good person in the novel. Anyway.
Dude.
Yeah, so she
gaslighting
She
them.
gaslights literally, just got home out of a coma and is like, why do I have these credit card bills? I was in a coma. And then I tries to gaslight her immediately. Yeah. So the book is fucked up.
I is so much better in the show.
I know. No. GMMTV did a great job characterizing all the people in the novel because, like, yeah, everybody's horrible in this book. Like, absolutely horrible. Okay, so I just had to read that because that was really fucking funny. But okay, let me find this part. Just give me a second. I forgot where it was.
Okay.
All right, so let's get into this. This is gonna be a while of reading the novel, so if you're not into this and you don't want spoilers, just end the episode here. But I'm gonna set the stage of like what GMMTV is working with before we get to the glorious part of this episode, which is part 3 and 4 will be covered in our next recap episode. So goodbye to those who don't want novel spoilers. But if you're into that, stick around because this is some crazy shit. Okay, so to set the stage, this is the lead up to kidnapping May, because that's what happens in the show.
Okay.
That is not what happens in the book. So in the book, I and are at home. And I is like, oh, what are you doing, And like, I'm about to go on a date with May. Because the same thing happens where she doesn't have the memories. She's still dating May. And I and May are secretly dating in the background. That part's the same. And then I's like, oh, man, I feel a little jealous. She gets to be with May, even though, like, I want to be with May. And then like, where are you going, And I's like, I'm going to go meet my friend. So then and then like, oh, do you want to ride with me? Because I'm going to drive. And then, and then I's like, okay, this is weird. She's like, dressed pretty casually, and that's kind of weird. And and then I feel nervous for some reason. And she's like, my twin used to say that she doesn't want to drive because she's too scared to do so. And then, again, the parents are like there, and they're like, don't provoke her memory. And the parents guess that she's still unconsciously scared to do so because of the accident, though she can't remember the accident. So naturally, after the coma, didn't want to drive, even though she didn't have the memories. So then I's like, this is weird because she's driving today. So this is what we just saw, right? And then I, in her brain, is like, why do I feel nervous? And then so because she feels weird about this, I's like, how about I go with you, I can drive. And she asked for the keys. And then like, no, I got this. She's like, I haven't driven for a long time. I want to drive today. And then I kind of presses her on a little bit. And then like, I know that's not normal for me, but like, it's normal now. And then like, do you want to come with me? Like, I can drive you. And she's like, you'll be late for your appointment the longer we keep arguing about this. Just, I can drive the car. I can go faster. And then and I's like, oh, I don't know about this. But she's like, I guess I could go with her and make sure she's okay. So then I is the one that gets in the car with Okay.
Oh,
and then starts driving. Okay. And then blah, blah, blah. Okay. All right. Then basically they start driving, and then they start having a little heart-to-heart here where like they're like, oh, I was envious of you, you were envious of me kind of thing. And they have their heart-to-heart in the car instead of like Meemaws, basically. So I'm just going to kind of skip all of that. I admit she stole her laptop and was using it in the scene. And then they start talking about May, I guess. Oh yeah, because I was like, oh, I took your laptop and I started writing a novel. And then Oom's like, oh, writing novels is good. Like, you know, she's like, because like in a novel, you can write a happy ending, even though in real life, you don't get a happy ending because someone ruined it. And I was like, what are you saying, And then Oom's like, May. And then I was like, my younger twin looks straight ahead, but her tone and voice and the look in her eyes changed, which surprises me. And I was like, you're talking like May did something. And responds, she changed my life in many ways, ... May made me realize that there is someone in this world who sees our worth while others look past it. I was like, and then cuts her off. She's like, it was the first time someone sent me a love letter. Says this like she's deeply hurt, but then she thinks of her past. But she suddenly went away. Because like, basically, I think the way the story went here is that like May wrote I a love letter after the first time they met, and it went to and then was like, oh, somebody loves me, and they wrote me a love letter, and find out it wasn't her. Okay, and then I's listening to this, and I think I kind of knew this shit from May, some of this from May, and she's like, well, you know, probably wasn't the right time. And then this is when they were kids, and then is continuing. This is truth coming out in this scene while they're driving, and says, I forgot all about that love letter until I met her again at the airport when they get reunited. And then May approached me, and she looked at me with loving eyes and made me feel special. And this is I in her brain. I go quiet because I feel guilty. May just looked at the wrong person with those eyes because she's always thought was me. And then I's like, okay, interesting. And then continues, then one day I realized the letter and her love weren't meant for me. Glances at me with a tear in her eyes, and she says, it was all because she misunderstood me for you, twin. Gulp. It seems like remembers more from her past. I don't know how much she remembers or what I should do in this situation. Yeah, because she's recalling memories now. This is the fucked up shit. Then says, to I, you always used my name when you did bad things. I let it go because people will find out anyway that I'm not you. But with May, that's not what I wanted. I loved May. Holds onto the steering wheel tightly. I found out later on that the person she fell in love with wasn't even me. And then I's like, you remember everything? Gives me a chilly grin while tears of anguish stream down her face, and she says, yes, I remember everything. So instead of May,
my God,
instead of kidnapping May, she lures I into the car and then has this conversation, right? Okay. All right. I think this is continuing. Rather than being my name, I had to pretend to be you because May thought that your name was Do you know how much pain I was in? Smashes the steering wheel in resentment. We began to drift apart and grow cold towards each other. This is what we saw in the show. It was because I wasn't the she thought I was. The perky that picks fights with everyone and has a face as beautiful as a portrait. Because for some reason, I's the hot twin in the novel, even though they're identical twins. And May kept talking about you and not me. And I's like, I'm sorry? And says, what are you sorry for? And she screams at me uncontrollably. I understand why she's so angry. And says, I says, I'm sorry for using your name at will. I was a very bad person. I know that now. So at least I apologizes to And says, it's okay. And I was like, but, and says, I don't hate you. The person I hate most right now. Looks straight ahead. I had no idea when we arrived at May's house. Is the owner of this house. So she takes I to May. Just wait. Okay. When the gate is open, May, who rarely comes out of the house, is standing alone in the driveway. Looks straight at the petite woman, that's what I call her, full of rage. That makes me nervous. And I says, what are you gonna do, says, because found out about Paul too. So says, when I finally found a new love, aka Paul, the owner of the airline who proposed to me on his knees and said he would love me until we were old, May called to tell him that we were still together. It made my husband go out that night and talk to her, and the accident happened. So this all happened very differently in the novel. And I was like, what? Because I didn't know this part. And I said, and May, continues, May is a murderer. She's the reason my husband died. Are we about to murder May? Let's go of the bridge. Sorry. Okay, wait, before we get there. Okay. Actually, no, we'll keep going because I think they talk about it more. Because like the truth of this happened in another scene. Okay. So screams, May is a murderer. She killed my husband. Lets go of the brake and slams her foot on the accelerator.
We're killing May?
I will make her die along with my husband.
Oh my god!
Our car speeds into the house, and in one split second that I could still see what was going on, I saw May raise a gun.
What?
Yeah, and aim it straight at without fearing death herself. I told you the book was crazier. I, in the front seat, stop, stop, bang, screech. Hits the brakes so hard, I almost flew out of the window. It's lucky we had our seatbelts on, so we're safe. I look down and scream before I slowly look back up. May is still standing where she was. The car is only a few palm lengths away from her. There was gunfire. I look at my twin, who has her face on the steering wheel and cries uncontrollably as she smashes the steering wheel because she's angry with herself. And is saying, why can't I do it? Why? Like she couldn't kill May. And then I tries to reach out to console but May opens the door, unbuckles my seatbelt, pulls me out of the car, and asks, are you okay? I's like, are you okay? They scan each other, they're fine. Then I's like, where did you get that from? Why do you have a gun?
It's been under my pillow this whole time.
And May says, I thought I should have one on me. Is too dangerous.
What?
Right, this is the nature of their relationship in the novel, that May had a gun already because of Yeah, they were horrible to each other in this book. And May's staring at and then slowly gets out of the car and slams the car door. And then this is when they have the fight that we're going to get into in the next part, where she's like, you guys seem to love each other a lot. And then May is like, with the gun, like, I knew you were pretending not to remember. And then like, we know each other well. They're both they're similar, like you said.
So she never lost her memories?
No, she did, but like, yeah, anyway. Yeah, she's like, maybe she didn't. Maybe she was pretending the whole time. And she's like, I knew it. Because, like, prior to this scene is when I finds out that May was pretending to be blind the whole time, which she was in the novel. And knew she was pretending to be blind because it's they know each other. They're both devious, I guess. And then May asks her, why did you hit the brakes? If you did this that day, referring to the accident where Paul died, you wouldn't have the fight with your husband for control of the steering wheel until he died because the car went off the road. This is I again. May says this casually as my heart shakes. This means that May was there at the accident. She was involved. And they keep fighting. And like, the crux of this is that basically the way Paul dies is that May calls Paul, like she was about to get married. May found out. So then I think sent her a thing being like, I'm getting married, I moved on. So then May gets into contact with Paul and was like, by the way, did you know about me? And like did this to hurt So, and then Paul was not a nice guy, like a loving, devoting doormat. So he basically goes to May. I think there was by May's house, and he goes to confront May with in the car. And I think May comes out with the gun again, and like he tries to like run her off the road because she's standing in the road, and then is in the car, and took the steering wheel so that he couldn't run into May, and then they crashed into a ditch and he died. She ended up in a coma. So that's actually how the accident went down. Because like remember in the show, it was just they were just randomly driving, and, oh my god, and then they steered off the road. Yeah, in the book, Paul was trying to kill May with the car, and then stopped it. And then that's how the accident happened. So that's why she's like, May, if you hadn't called him and pissed him off and would have just let me move on with my life, nobody would have been in that situation. So the accident happened because of May. And Paul is another body that May has in the novel. And I didn't know any of this until just now when they're at gunpoint.
Oh my god.
But wait, it keeps going.
What do you mean it keeps going?
It keeps going. So basically,
my brain can't handle it.
Basically, and May start getting into a verbal altercation.
Okay.
And then tries to run after May to like attack her, but then I gets in the way, and she's like, "I'm worried about May, who has a gun still." And then I was like, can you guys please stop fighting? Like, I don't want anybody to get hurt. We need to let go of the past. Like, please let it go. May let it go. And she's like, hurting each other is not worth it. Like, can we just move on? Basically, they keep fighting. And then blah, 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 blah. And then it's at this stage when they start fighting, that tells I, oh, didn't you know? May was the lawyer that she tells her about the Batman stuff. It comes out here. Like, she didn't know that before. She said, by the way, she ruined your friend's life and killed your friend's mom. Didn't you know that? She also has another body. She didn't just kill somebody I know. She killed somebody you know. And then also, is the one who's like, you know what makes this real fun? I is the one that told her friend to go blind the lawyer. And it was worse the way that went down in the novel, too. So, like, all of the truths come out during this, like, scene where, like, May's got a gun and almost kills May.
Oh, my God.
And then so I has to, like, I was trying to be the middle woman to be like, can we stop? And then she has to suddenly process this shit. And then basically they get in that situation where they're like, okay, I think we love each other enough that we can move on with this. And then, okay. And then she's basically, May's like, oh, I can forgive I for that, basically. And like, I can't believe you just said that. What are you, lying? And she's like, no, I can forgive I for that. And then this is back to May. May says, she, meaning I, didn't make me blind. It's not like you who almost killed me twice. Yet I'm still alive. The sweet-faced woman raises her gun and aims it at my twin's face, looking like she's not kidding. Like, May's horrible. They say that if you hit a snake, you better kill it. And you're not dead, one day you will be. So what should I do? And then, I'm sorry, this part will make you laugh. Says, if you think you can get away with killing me, go for it. And May says, don't worry. Don't forget that I'm a lawyer. I can always get away with it easily. And then I comes in and she's like, stop it. Nobody's gonna die. And she's trying to, like, stop this bullshit. She's like, look, we're all alive. The past is in the past. Everything's gonna be fine. And then, yeah, we get back to the husband and all that kind of stuff. And then basically, like, May pulls a gun on and then tries to shoot, like, and then I think somehow gets the gun and then is pointing it at May and then, like, fires the gun, but, like, fires it in the air. But, like, yeah, these two end up in a shootout. Like, that's how bad it is in the novel.
My brain is hurting right now.
I told you it was worse. They end up in a shootout.
Why?
Yeah, no. So May and their relationship was really, really, that was some poisonous love at the end because, like,
oh my God,
Paul's death is May's fault, and then, like, they end up in a shootout.
Okay. Sure.
So would you like to have seen the shootout in
No.
the show? Yep. Yeah, the novel's crazy.
I mean, if this was a other show like we didn't really care about and, like, was just, like, shocking, like, sure.
You mean, like, a fair where there's a gun that shows up for some reason? No, but this was wilder because, like, each one of them had a gun. Tries to, like, run over May with a car. Like, it's really, really bad. Like, their relationship was horrific in the novel. Like, it went so sideways.
Yeah. Oh my God.
So I had to set that stage so that you have the comparison for what we're about to talk to for the rest of this episode because it's so much better than what we were given. So you have to give credit to the writers here for reading that and being like, no, we're gonna do this instead.
Thank you, GMMTV.
Yeah, so that line of, like, I'm gonna take you to somewhere where we're gonna be together forever. Although they did make kidnap May, that was different. But no, in the novel, she was literally just trying to kill May. There was no suicide. There was just murder.
They implied it.
There was just murder. There was murder on May's mind, or on mind.
Got murder on the brain.
Murder on the brain. So that is one of the craziest things I've ever read. Is that whole chain of events from Pluto. I love I, though. She's like, May, why do you have a gun? She's like, your sister's crazy, I. And then I's listening to all this shit. And then you should have walked away and been like, you're both fucking crazy. I'm gonna leave.
Just kill each other. Like, I'm out. I'm out.
I'm sorry. The line with where she's like, go ahead if you think you can get away with it. And May's like, I'm a fucking lawyer. Of course I can get away with it. Like, it was like, you guys are awful for each other.
Not necessarily true, but sure.
That's so funny. Oh my God. It was absurd. Anyway. So that was Pluto the novel. It's something.
It is.
It is. All right. So with that, let's wrap up this episode. So what gets your big gay energy award for this episode?
Whatever the hell that trio was.
Yeah, it has to be that stupid three-way kiss thing because that had a lot of big gay.
That's what we call it, by the way.
Energy.
Three-way kiss, because what else do you call it?
The throuple moment.
It's not even the Spider-Man kiss because there actually is a Spider-Man kiss that
there is.
Not in the show.
Not in the show.
In Uranus 23-24.
There is one. It is very good. This was some weird. It took a lot of big gay energy to initiate that and then continue it. You know what I mean? Pang and Jan were made for each other because Pang starts it. Officer Hottie's confused. And then Jan's like, I'll do it too. And then Pang's like, no, I'm going to do it again. Like, it was those two idiots. Anyway, yeah, it's that scene because that scene's crazy. And a lot of gay energy in that scene. Okay, what's your Taylor Swift song for this episode?
All right.
Or this part.
So I'm going off the three-way kiss again. I'm
fair.
going with Foolish One. And this was basically from Officer Hottie's perspective. So like before they meet, like it's you give me just enough attention to keep my hopes too high. Wishful thoughts forget to mention when something's really not right. And I will block out these voices of reason in my head. And the voices say, you are not the exception. You will never learn your lesson.
Yeah.
So now this is when I believe like she's either about to call or called them together. I don't know how the hell they ended up there, but when they ended up there, stop checking your mailbox for confessions of love. That ain't never gonna come. You will take the long way. You will take the long way down. You know how to keep me waiting. I know how to act like I'm fine. Don't know what to call the situation. What the hell was that situation?
Because nobody knows what to call it. Not even the writers.
But I know I can't call you mine.
Yes.
And it's delicate, but I will do my best to seem bulletproof. Now, she seemed very confused and...
I mean, she
was appalled at one point.
Listen, she tried to be bulletproof, but then she fell into the chair and she couldn't do it anymore.
Because when my head is on your shoulder, it starts thinking you'll come around, and maybe someday when we're older, this is something we'll laugh about.
That's also valid. That fits them too.
And now...
Yeah. Processing.
Once Pang pulls Jan into a kiss, it's this part. You will learn the hard way instead of just walking out.
Yeah.
Now I'm sliding down the wall with my head in my hands, saying, how could I not see the signs? Yeah. Oh, you haven't written me or called, but goodbye screaming in the silence. And the voices in my head are telling me why. Because you got her on your arm and me in the wings. I'll get your longing glances, but she'll get your ring. And you will say you had the best of intentions, and maybe I will finally learn my lesson.
Oh, man. Yeah. Sometimes, like, it's true. Sometimes you got to learn things the hard way, you know? And boy, did Officer Hottie, against her will, learn that the hard way.
Yeah.
Oh, my God. That was a good one. Okay. I think my song for this part of the episode has to do with the May situation, and I'm going to pick Betty by Taylor Swift.
I was like, it had to be one of the, no, not for them, but for them too. The threesome, not threesome, but the trio song, Love Triangle.
Yeah, because it's basically about there's a bunch of songs on that album where she's kind of like has like this fictional, air quotes, love triangle situationship happening, and she tells the story from 3 different people's point of views. And this one is like the point of view of the person who, well, it's like 2 different people's point of view, but there's like one person who like was cheated on by somebody else and then like is trying to like apologize to her in a way. And so it kind of like reminded me of like the throuple situation that you just went over, but also like it's like the May thing, because it's like with May and you kind of have this like obviously one person was scorned and then the misunderstanding shit that happens, but then like ultimately like was kind of like this person that just like was the fling by accident, and then like May is trying to get back, I's trying to get May back, and it's this messy thing that's really toxic. And then what led them to this whole situation is like, what if I showed up at your party? Would you have me? Would you want me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself? So that like uncertainty is situation where you're trying to navigate this, but like the only thing I want to do is make it up to you. So it's kind of like, I think that was a lot of like their scenes kind of like going on in this episode. Mm-hmm. Yeah,
that's a good one too.
And poor and then also like if you read it from point of view as the scorned person, and she's like, well, what if May, what if I, and then it's nefarious, what if I showed up at your party? Would you have me? Would you love me? Would you tell me to go fuck myself? Like, anyway, for all your stupid friends, like, yeah, it just gets real nefarious. If you read it nefariously, it's also being scorned at the end. So I'm gonna go with Betty.
Sounds good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, if you made it this far in the episode, we want to know.
Congrats.
And leave it in a comment on YouTube or Spotify. And we're just going to go with Theora's question of how would Meemaw react to meeting May for the first time?
Yeah, what's that interaction? How did that go down? And also, did you prefer the showdown between May and in the novel with the guns in the car, the murder, or the show? Let us know.
I like what we got in the show, but in a different place, different time. I just like how crazy it is.
It's so fucking crazy. Anyway, so we'll be back to wrap up episode 11. And until next time, hydrate for lesbian Jesus.
And gay it up all over the place.
Bye.
Bye.
And with that, we've been Big Gay Energy. If you like this episode, check out all our other episodes right here on YouTube.
Please like, leave a comment below, and subscribe for more amazing super gay content.